You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't good.
We're not talking about any integrity in
We
this
are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Yes, but that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No, there's vampires everywhere.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 160. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham. Oh, wow, that was loud.
I put it right next to the mic.
Excellent.
Just blow everyone's ears out. This episode's brought to you by a D to the P. I'm not talking about Donkey Punch.
Nope.
I'm not talking about a DP.
No.
DP dough. Not get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about Diet Pepsi.
Yep.
I had them on sale at Costco.
I
I
am
bought a
also
case.
drinking Pepsi. Oh,
What?
you know what I bought a case of?
What?
I bought a case, that has not yet arrived, of cheer wine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You wanted to
From
try
Amazon.
it?
I did. I want to try it.
Man, I really want to try Cactus Cooler. I'm going to have to get it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, Cheerwine, next podcast episode, if it's here, you got to drink her on air.
Yeah, it should be arriving around that time, so.
Oh, perfect. That'll be good. We get the reactions from Ham on the wine of the cheer.
Yep.
So that's a southern soda, as we call it.
Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, Carolina, as they call it. That's what
That's what you call it?
As they call it in the Civil War.
Right.
Is when they called it that. Yeah, you know. People that had speech impediments in the Civil War called it North Carolina.
I've heard there's a minor that is a Caroliner.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also a minor I know that's a 49er.
Yeah.
Do you know where that term came from, right?
Yeah. The gold rush.
1849 Gold Rush?
Yeah.
There are 49ers coming into this town, and I'm not talking football.
Because we haven't invented it yet.
Adam, let me just say, okay, back in that day and age, the mid-1800s, what profession do you think you would have?
A profession?
Yeah, let's say you were born in like 1830. It's 1849. You're 19, a young man, out of school, ready to face the world. What are you doing?
If I had the fortune to go to school, I'd probably end up being like a doctor or something.
No,
Like an
not
old-timey
college.
doctor.
You would honestly, you'd be able to be a doctor back then.
Exactly.
You
That's
and me
the thing.
both.
Right.
With the test scores and intelligence that we once had.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I'm still smart like that, but I was.
Yeah, me
In
too.
the days of my youth, I just try to get by with the man. How does that song go? Led
I get
Zeppelin?
by with a little luck from my friends.
No. Led Zeppelin.
Beatles. I don't know how that one goes.
Alright, I'm gonna find it. I like how if you look it up, it's Good Times, Bad Times, the name of the song. I couldn't think of it. Adam, in the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
Now I've reached that age, I've tried to do all the things the best I can. No matter how I try, I find my way into the same old jam. Chorus. Good times, bad times. You know I've had my share. When my woman left home for a brown-eyed man, well, I still don't seem to care. 17. Fell in love with a girl as sweet as could be. It only took a couple days till she was rid of me. She swore that she would be all mine and love me till the end. But when I whispered in her ear, I lost another friend. Ooh. I know what it means to be alone. I sure do wish I was at home. I don't care what the neighbors say. I'm going to love you each and every day. You can feel the beat within my heart. Realize, sweet babe, we ain't ever gonna part. That's Led Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times.
Nice.
I think today, and back then, it still applies.
Certainly.
Good times, bad times. I've had my share. Anyway, goddamn, what were we talking about?
Cheer wine?
No, okay,
49ers, yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know. I wonder what I would do. I'd probably be like a fucking ranch man, farmer.
Yeah.
That's my grandparents were. My dad was for a while, so I just assume I'd be a farmhand. But I'd be like all caught up in the gold. I was about to say gold dust. Gold lust. This is different thing. Gold dust is. No, they all caught up in the gold lust for the the gold rush.
Yeah.
In California, as it was known back then. And I feel like I probably would have gone or something. It's kind of like in Star Wars, when Luke's at home on the farm and all his friends are going off.
Yeah.
To go mine gold and probably die of dysentery. He's like, I want some of that shit. Did you think about that, Adam? Luke Skywalker wanted to go fight in a war at the start of Star Wars.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's just like, well, yeah, but you don't think about it back then. But then you think about it, and you're like, he wanted to fight the Empire,
yeah.
who you see just completely fuck the shit out of everyone.
Right.
He's like, I want to fight them. That's like literally being, because I think Tatooine at the time was not Empire controlled, but kind of like
it was controlled
rim
by the
galaxy,
Hutts.
far rim galaxy, right?
It was controlled by the Hutts.
Hutts, yeah, but the Hutts were kind of playing both sides.
Oh yeah.
But when you think about that, it's kind of like being like in Switzerland, being like, I'm going to fucking Germany and killing Hitler in World War II. It was like, hey, dude, you got it good here in Switzerland,
Yeah.
Why mess up all the good vibes?
Apparently, Greta Garbo thought about killing Hitler.
Oh, why?
Apparently, a famous actress at the time.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like, how was she related to Hitler? How could she have gotten
She
a shot?
lived in some place that was really nearby, and I guess she heard that Hitler was a big fan of hers.
Oh yeah, so she was like, So it was like The Interview.
She said, "I think."
Oh
she
my
said
god!
If somebody hadn't, I think if we hadn't joined the war or something like that, she had considered going in and killing him because she would have been the one person they wouldn't search.
Her and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, exactly.
Hate us because they ain't us, Hitler.
Yeah.
And then she, stabs him or whatever the heck poison they had. They probably had ricin back then, right?
I think she was probably planning on shooting him. Actually, I don't.
Oh shit! Just bust a cap.
Yeah.
That's cool. Good for her. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good way to stand up to cancer. No, stand up to Hitler. That's what she wanted to do.
Yes.
Oh my god. I want to go on a rant now about branded campaigns.
Oh, don't
Just
please.
like stand up to cancer and all this bullshit that like celebrities wear gear for. That's like an industry now, Adam. It's
I
like
know.
making a cause a profitable like brand to sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
My conspiracy theory is that it all started with Kabbalah. They started the bracelet.
Yeah, the red
craze.
bracelets, and they're like, "Oh, pink shirts in October for breast cancer."
I can't remember what movie it was.
Mustaches from November.
There was some movie where they spent like an ungodly amount of effects to remove.
Oh, it was
Ashton Kutcher.
yeah, it was Guess Who. It was
that...
the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner remake with
okay.
With Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Going to the parents who were black in this version. Bernie Mac was the dad. I remember this because they spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
An ungodly sum of money.
Digitally removing his Kabbalah bracelet.
Right, because he wouldn't take it off.
Well.
He wouldn't take it off. Either.
And the director was probably like, oh, people just be like, oh, his character wears a red string. Whatever.
Right.
And then they like, some exec was like, hey, that's fucking Kabbalah.
Yeah.
You can't have that. And then they spent way too much money doing it. Because, Hollywood.
Yep.
Of course. Adam, we're not here to take down Hollywood.
No.
Mm-mm. What are we here for, Adam?
Actually...
I'm going to have you start the salvo
okay.
of the episode.
I will start the salvo with a salvo from one of our listeners.
Oh, God. We're going right into this.
We are.
So I wake up this morning, and on my phone, I got multiple emails of post updates, chatting going on. I'm born in the 80s. So someone had posted something.
I just posted a comment to the last episode.
Yeah, he did. Who is this?
Andrew, I believe.
Just an Andrew, okay. And he took umbrage with my kung fu style.
Not really. Let me read you his comment.
He took
here.
a Dolores umbrage.
Oh, no.
I like how you get the reference, though.
Of course I did. 'Cause I'm a nerd.
Huh?
Hey there. Fun podcast as usual. Starts out with a compliment. Very
That's
nice.
good. You know, start with a compliment. Is this a compliment sandwich? Does it end with a compliment?
Not particularly.
Well, great. Adam, add one.
All right.
I haven't read this because I specifically didn't read it because I knew we'd be recording. So
yeah.
And also, when I clicked on it on my email, my phone exploded.
Not
being able to load the webpage. So
that's probably because I already approved it. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Just wanted to say though that half the martial arts talk was fun, and the other half was a little cringy.
Oh God!
As a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh shit!
I was a little.
My ass.
I was a little offended when you guys called Taekwondo and karate the same thing, which I think was actually my fault because I think you mentioned like what is Taekwondo or something like that. And I think
it's like got a minimal knowledge of this, and I'm just like, it's all the same to me, and I'm just like, sure, whatever, man. Let's try and get through the base points here.
Some of the stuff I should have actually known because I've, I think my dad took Taekwondo too.
Oh shit!
My stepdad
kicked my ass too.
Yeah,
anyone could kick my ass.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
300 pounds, but I think most people could kick my ass.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, me too. But I don't know, I could fight. I feel like I could scrap.
Maybe.
That's why I said I wanted to learn how to fight, just because I feel like I'm big enough for it.
Just as somebody who was in like high school wrestling, fighting is so tiring. It is like
the physical exertion, John.
It's right. Like you run out of gas really fast. That's what you would think.
I see, Hulk Hogan do a few leg drops, and he seems to get the job done.
Yeah. Okay. First, I'd like to say that most martial arts styles are more of a overarching term that encompasses multiple styles. Much like how Kung Fu is used to describe Chinese martial arts, but there are hundreds or thousands of styles.
Okay.
There are several kinds of karate, such as Kenpo, which I always thought was like actually a Chinese thing. But he probably, I'm sure, knows more than I do.
Okay.
Shotokan, which I've heard of, and Okinawan.
Isn't that, that's in like February, right? Shotokan? It's down at the convention center?
No, it's not
it's
quite.
Convention Center Wrestling.
No, Shoto can't. All right. Some people might pronounce
it. Con, like
it's K-A-N. It's K-A-N.
Close.
Not cone. I was in like convention. And Okinawa. Now, Okinawa, I think, is an island of some kind.
Kokodes. I learned
here?
that in Japanese.
Here?
Yep.
Okay.
And Ahsoka des.
Over there?
Yeah.
Right.
I learned those.
Great.
Directions.
Yep.
Did you learn words I don't remember?
Okay. Did you actually learn how to ask where?
Would it just be I point somewhere and say Ahsoka desu ka?
It's actually Doko.
Over there?
Doko desu ka.
Okay.
Doko is like
I think
question.
I remember that. Doko. Yeah. All right.
There's Coco.
The lessons I'm taking repeat a lot of stuff so that you eventually figure it out. So
it's kind of funny.
That's a new one for me.
There's actually Coco here, Soko, which is there, and then Ahsoka, which is over there. Like that's a little further away. Like here, there, and way over there, kind of.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm learning it.
Yeah,
I learned where
cool.
some how to ask where train stations are in Tokyo.
Oh, Dainsha?
The lessons I am taking are like basically if you're going to travel to Japan, here are the basics you need to know.
Train is Dainsha, isn't it?
No, it's like station is the word I learned. I don't even remember what it is.
Oh, okay.
Some weird word. I don't know. Let's not get into what I don't know, which is a lot. Let's go back to what Andrew actually knows about martial arts.
God, I hope it's Andrew. I didn't actually write the name down. I think it was Andrew. John might like Okinawan karate.
I just looked it up, so it is Andrew.
Great. John might like Okinawan karate, as it's a nice blend of both Japanese and Chinese martial arts. So it has the Japanese straightforward moves as well as the circular patterns in most Chinese martial arts.
That's where I'm at. Okinawa.
It's pretty cool.
That's where Kill Bill. That's where she learned the way of Hattori Hanzo sword.
Was it?
Yeah, she went to Okinawa. That's where he was.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Not Osaka?
Nope, she went to Okinawa.
All right.
Trust me.
Okay, I believe you.
I've seen that movie a billion times.
You're the resident Kill Bill expert.
It was my favorite movie in high school, so I saw it like 10 times.
Anyways, what separates Taekwondo from other styles is that Taekwondo is a kick-heavy style. There's lots of kicks in Taekwondo.
All right, I'm already in on Taekwondo then.
Yeah.
Because kicking is badass.
It is badass. Although it is
I got long legs, too, so...
Yeah, that'd be...
Got reach.
That'd be good for you. Taekwondo has a sports-oriented side, and the YouTube link I posted, and he's got two of them here that we'll put up, I assume.
Yep, I'll put them up at the website.
Is the sports sparring portion.
Sweet.
There's also a sports forums portion, so it's just like the forums as opposed to like the sparring.
Now, are there Taekwondo death matches?
Can
I go underground Taekwondo to the death matches?
There's probably death matches in like every martial art, I would think.
That's true. I guarantee you there's been at least someone killed in a Taekwondo tournament.
Oh,
in like
certainly.
Betting happening in some Hong Kong opium den.
There were... Wait. What? They hold their death matches in opium dens?
You gotta be high as fuck to fight to the death, man.
Yeah, but like the audience would be really like
into it. Or asleep on
exactly
what I assume are giant beanbags.
You gotta have people amped, not like people like drowsing off into fucking comas.
That's what I imagine opium dens are. Just a bunch of like those sweet ass like hookah pipes.
Yeah.
With opium in them, and then everyone just sleeping on like
the
bags.
cushions and bean. Yeah, totally.
Fuck yeah. I want to go there.
Anyway, similar to how the Israeli forces use Krav Maga and the Korean military. Oh, similar to that, the Korean military uses Taekwondo. So Taekwondo is actually like the military style of choice.
I wonder if North Koreans do that too. Then
maybe I don't know
the Taekwondo, or they have their own North Korean one.
I have no idea. But he does say one of my masters was a lieutenant and then was a member of the Korean Special Forces.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
You know what, Adam? Like, comment, subscribe if you want us to travel to North Korea.
Oh, God. Yeah, please do. Just, I'm not promising anything.
We'll kickstart that. Jon and Adam's excellent adventure.
Uh-huh.
And the headlines are, Idiot American caught in North Korea.
Murdered by North Koreans.
Sent to internment camp.
Yeah. He goes on to say he can talk about Taekwondo martial arts in general for hours, but it's too long already. He just wanted to give his 2 cents, and we're also very special, lovely people.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe.
Well, there was a compliment sandwich.
That was added by me.
Oh, you didn't, Adam. I believed it.
I know, as you requested, though.
No, so Adam.
Yeah.
If you got like captured by the North Koreans and they were like, spout all this American, anti-American, I'd be like, fuck yeah, sign me up. Don't put me in jail. I'll do whatever you say. I'll turn against America.
No.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you would.
Sorry.
They'd like throw you in the camp where you're eating like rice balls filled with like beetles, and you're gonna be like, give me my iPad.
No, I would go for like the action movie montage where I'm just like getting thin and training and. You know,
you're getting thin because you're not eating because they don't feed anyone there.
But I'm also like training when they don't notice.
Okay.
And you know,
you're doing a little Taekwondo by night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like copying the guards in their training and learning.
Actually, that's a really interesting thing. So I read a lot about North Korea because I got way into reading about it. I've read a few books that are really good. Mm-hmm. One of them's called like, oh man, I have my Kindle right in front of me, so I'm gonna name drop this book because it's fucking great, and I have to close out the Adam book that I have to find it. No, we'll get there. Goddamn! Oh no, is it not in my Kindle? Did I read that book on? No, it is. Nothing to Envy: Ordinary Lives in Korea. That's an incredible book, like incredibly written and real people accounts. It's written like a novel, basically, kind of like based on real people's accounts. And actually, one of the cool things is since they don't have any power at night, people can go out and like unnoticed, basically. You know what I mean? So people can just go out at night into the woods and like this guy and this girl used to like hang out in the woods, and they didn't do anything because they were afraid. You know what I mean? But they would be able to like, you know, like there's like the 1950s, you know, like sneaking off out, you know, of the parents' house to go like hang out in the woods and talk, you know.
Or 1984.
Sure, it was in the 80s. This happened.
There you go.
So. You know, no, but that's a great book about North Korea. Really
cool.
Crazy, insightful. So anyway, yeah, continue. Oh yeah, that was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing. So I apologize to Andrew
So basically, Taekwondo is
Yeah.
extremely badass, is what we've learned.
Yeah, more. It's not just karate, the same thing. It's
I think I learned that Taekwondo is badass, but I think I didn't like it because it's like I'm like a hipster martial artist, so it's like
everybody knows Taekwondo.
Taekwondo's too mainstream, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn my weird Chinese style and then get into a match with someone who knows Taekwondo and they'll murder me because it's like well thought out fighting style.
Yeah.
And not some art. I don't know. I want to learn the hidden style that's been like locked in a scroll for centuries.
You need to like find like a real ninja teacher.
Yeah, how many of those exist in the world?
Didn't like Lance say he knew a guy who like
He knew a guy who knew a guy who was a ninja.
no, he like knew a guy who like trained under ninja stuff, and had like a guy who was trained.
Let's see
in the
ninjutsu
ninja
training.
arts.
Let's see here. What do we got? There's videos online, YouTube
Like
videos. Apparently, there's
assassination
training
tactics.
camps.
Yeah.
I want to go like in. Do you think like the first night of ninja camp, you're like in bed, and then like so you wake up and there's a knife on your throat,
Right,
And they're
yeah.
like, you failed lesson 1.
Never sleep.
Never sleep. And then they like cut someone's throat, and you're like, oh shit, it's real. And then it turns out that you were brought away to a murder camp. Oh, you paid for it. No, honestly, I think probably the best fighting style to learn is MMA, like which is basically mixed martial arts. So it's like all the styles.
Is it even really like an actual like mixed martial arts? Just means just bring whatever you got to the table, doesn't it?
I think
actually like
MMA,
it's not
I think
like a
MMA
style, is there?
stands for mixed martial. You know what, Adam?
Yeah.
Let's see what Wikipedia has to say.
Okay.
Well, honestly, you type MMA into Google and Wikipedia does not come up in the first page. So
Weird.
the Wikipedia page for MMA is not.
I thought MMA just meant like anything that you brought to the table was allowed. I didn't.
Well, I just want to read the definition.
Okay.
All right, here we go. MMA, full contact combat sport that allows both striking and grappling techniques.
Yeah.
So I think it's just bring anything to the table. I mean, you've seen the early MMA stuff, right? Didn't we watch some of that?
I didn't really watch it ever.
Okay, so Lance and I acquired some of the first UFC matches, like the first MMA, and they were like total like tournaments of, hey, this guy knows this type of fighting, this guy knows this type of fighting. They're gonna fight, and we'll see which is like the best martial art. And it turns out it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Right.
Because no one else knew how to wrestle,
Yep.
and they would just murder everyone. But yeah. No, I think MMA is just kind of like all martial arts in one type of fighting. And I think almost everyone knows, like, a little bit of everything. And you have to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you wrestle a lot. And that's, like, how to break arms on the ground. The style.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about martial arts because I know nothing, and I'm going to make more people angry.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, that's the, discussion.
Yeah, and definitely...
Adam, we're disruptors.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Well, I mean, as I said, definitely anybody feel free to like comment, correct us, send us information on, educate us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Educate. Dude,
Edumacate.
ninjutsu is probably the coolest thing in the world.
I know, right?
I need to learn that. That's it. You know what? Honestly, above everything, if I'm looking for some secret cool thing, it's got to be ninjutsu.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
Ninjutsu? No.
No, like pretend you were a ninja. I totally did that when I was a kid.
Who did not? Are you kidding me?
No, but I built like a spy kit. I had like binoculars. I had like a satchel that I made.
I didn't have that. I did. I was
I-
into the big detective thing when I was younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was
Adam Ham Detective Agency.
Sherlock
Sherlock
Ham.
Ham. Sorry.
Sherlock Ham's
no,
detective agency.
No, okay. So I'm remembering. I made a grappling hook. I created a grappling hook out of a hooked piece of what I probably was. You know how the drains on like houses are, like the top. What are they called? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the
Storm drain?
where
Like
the
a
leaves, like where all the leaves get stuck.
yeah,
you know?
gutter.
Like a gutter. There's like a hook to keep one of those up. Like I got one of those hooks basically, and fashioned a rope onto it to make myself a grappling hook. I never used it, but it was in my kit.
Okay.
I had all sorts of other cool stuff. I had some knives.
Wow. Okay.
Well, you gotta have knives.
Sure.
I had a blowgun that I created
Okay.
out of some sort of straw material, and I fashioned darts
Wow.
out of toothpicks. They would be poison laced later, so
Naturally.
but toothpicks and I think cotton balls that I would wad up around the end so it would, stick in the dart gun.
Yeah.
I had my whole my ninjutsu kit ready.
That's cool.
When I was like 8, so.
Yeah.
And I would run around in the woods and pretend I was like spying on people. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
I did that all the time. I'd be like, I'm gonna tail this person, in this park or something when I was a little kid playing around. Yep. So that's it. I'm gonna learn ninja. I've decided.
Yeah.
I mean, that Okinawan thing sounds badass.
Does.
You know what? You don't need to know any of those badass moves if you kill someone in their sleep.
True.
That's what you learn with ninjutsu.
Right.
I want to learn all of this.
Plus, we have, the theater background. We could, we could do the...
Yeah, I could dress up as,
blending
a kabuki guy,
What?
right? And then, be like, we're going to put on a show. And then, everyone's like, ho, 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 good show.
Green Giant.
Yeah. What?
He said, ho, ho, ho.
What's wrong?
That's the Green Giant thing. Ho, ho,
No,
ho. Green Giant.
Adam, it's the Japanese lord that watches you and me do our kabuki show, and he's like, ho, 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 good show. But he says it in Japanese. I don't know. It would be Ichiban show.
Number one show?
Yeah. That's what he'd say. So he'd be like, number one show. And we'd be like, yes. And then, he goes to sleep. We're putting our kabuki stuff away. And I pull out my ninja satchel that I got. Blow dart. Through the reeds. I'll cut a little paper hole in his, paper wall. And just dart. And then I'll be the hero. Because he was secretly... like a child murderer.
Okay.
I'm a ninja for good.
Like that one guy on 13 Assassins who just, arrows people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's one of the... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. He's that guy who's, murdering everybody. But I get in there, sneak in. Actually, I think in that movie, don't ninjas try to attack him?
I think
and they murder all of them at one point early on? Something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. That is an awesome movie.
It is an awesome movie.
13 Assassins, for my favorite director.
Yeah.
The Japanese guy. Yep,
Takashi. Yeah. Takashi Miike.
I don't want to get his name wrong. Takeshi Miike. That's it. Not Takashi. Yes. 13 Assassins is an incredible movie. 2010 is probably his best movie in terms of production values.
And his most mainstream.
Probably
Great Yokai War is awesome.
Great Yokai War is a children's movie
And
made by
awesome.
the same guy who did Audition.
It's like the Dark Crystal though of Japanese.
It really
movies.
is. It totally is. Yeah, because it's like a little kid kind of going off to a fantasy adventure world.
Yeah, totally.
And it's an awesome movie. And he's the best director. And 13
Very
Assassins. Watch it.
Yep.
All right, Adam, that's enough martial arts. Thank
Indeed.
you for emailing. You can always go to the website. That's borninthE80s.net.
Yep.
And check us out. And leave comments about how dumb we are.
Send us. There's a spot there you can contact us.
That's right.
Directly with requests and other such things.
Mm-hmm. Adam, you got...
Yes.
How about I go?
Okay, go for it.
You win, I go.
All right.
Adam, you know what movie I saw a trailer for that I'm excited about?
No, what?
Neil Blomkamp's next movie.
Okay.
CHAPPiE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you see...
Nope.
You haven't seen the trailer for this?
Nope. I haven't seen a Neil Blomkamp movie in a long time.
Well, you saw District 9.
I did see District 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then there was Elysium,
I did not see that.
and this is the one after that.
Okay. I saw part of Elysium, I think.
I don't think that one got the best
was kinda stupid.
critical reception. I think people were like, it's a little bit too preachy.
It was, and it was also kind of dumb. I don't know.
Okay, Adam.
Just like
So you really honestly haven't seen the CHAPPiE trailer?
I have not.
God damn it, Adam. I put it on the notes that I gave to you 2 seconds ago.
I know. You didn't even put a link there. You just put CHAPPiE.
Just the words CHAPPiE.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a science fiction movie.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Huge Ackman
Okay.
is in it, as I like to call him.
I'm in then. I like you, Jack.
Dev Patel,
Oh,
right?
Great.
Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, yeah. All
Music
right.
by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah. I'm liking
All right.
this. Okay.
Okay, so, and it also has some weird South African rap group called D Antwoord in it as well.
Okay. All
So,
right.
I've seen
Sure.
the trailer. Okay, but no, it's cool. All right.
Okay.
So I've seen the trailer, and it's kind of like there's like these robot policemen that they use now in the future. Mm-hmm. And like Hugh Jackman is like the guy who like from the trailer. This is just watching the trailers that have been released. Me explaining what the movie is. Hugh Jackman is the like computer guy who like helped create the robots, and like Dev Patel is like a young and upcoming like robot maker guy, and he's
Okay.
like, I want robots to be more than this. I want robots to create like a robot that's like a human, basically.
Sure.
And so it looks like CHAPPiE is like a discarded reject robot because he has reject written on his head.
All right.
And like I guess he like fixes his brain to be like learning like a human. Mm-hmm. And he is like out there on like the streets, and that's where like the rap group people meet, and they're all kind of like just like gangsters, you know, out there in South Africa. And he's like in
Sure.
the underground, and basically, I don't know. It seems like kind of like all about like robot rights and stuff, and like he's like, you know, you create a robot that can think and stuff, and you're gonna end the world. And he's like, no, he's good. And then, you know, obviously he's nice and stuff, and I don't know, it just looks really badass.
Okay. I think I'm in.
About kind of, I don't know, like AI stuff.
Yeah, I like
Always
this
stuff's
kind
really
of stuff.
cool. And I don't know if the movie's out yet. I know.
Oh, it
it's
can't be out
going
yet.
to be released. Well, I know, but in the U.S. it's going to be released on the 6th.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, filming ended start of last year. I want to see if there's no reviews for it, but trailer looked really cool. I'm looking forward to that. So you haven't seen the trailer,
No.
but you should see the trailer
Yeah.
because it looks cool. Adam, what's your thoughts on robots that can think for themselves? Are they going to be good? Are we all going to die?
I hope so. I hope
Well, you
they're
hope we
good.
all die?
No, I hope they're good. I hope we don't all die.
Okay.
Will they be good? I don't know. That's it's way too easy just to follow the logic. Like you have to give them like feelings too.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point.
As opposed
Like,
to just like thinking like a human, they have to like also
have the feelings so they
have
won't
the
do
emotional
bad
response.
things.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Because it's all too easy to follow just a straight logical course to humans are the scum of the earth. They must be destroyed.
No, yeah, definitely. We are, but they can't know that. Because they learn that, we're screwed.
Exactly.
I will say Hugh Jackman looks awesome in the movie. He has kind of a sweet half mullet that looks cool.
Okay.
Yet again, Hugh Jackman is rocking robots a la, was it Real Steel? Did you see the movie Real Steel?
I did not. I didn't know he was in that.
That movie is so good. It's so fun. You haven't seen
Okay.
Real Steel?
No.
Oh my god. I think it's got a 60% of Rotten Tomatoes, but like the point of like Real Steel is, I believe, Hugh Jackman used to be like a prize fighter, but now like robots box. 'cause it's
So he
safer.
teaches a robot to fight?
Exactly. It's not even that though. Is that he like teams with his son, who is like estranged from him.
Like get his skills?
to
downloaded?
basically like kind of teach his robot how to box.
Yeah.
And you know, I think he controls it with like boxing, like things on his hands. So he's like doing the moves and stuff,
Okay.
and the robot's like copying him. I can't remember. I saw it on a plane in 2011, so it's been a while. No, but it was badass because like I don't know, it was really cool, and I love robots, and pretty much anything
Yeah,
with
me too.
sci-fi in it automatically gets a plus for me. So
Yeah.
it's got to be really bad for me to not want to see it.
Sure.
So I remember the movie's pretty cool, and I think it did well. I don't know. It says it had a budget of 110 million, made 300 million, so did pretty well.
Okay, yeah.
Got mixed reviews, but mixed to positive, you know. So
Sure.
I think it was It was well received. 60% Rotten Tomatoes. Certified fresh. Anyway, I thought it was cool because it was kind of like a fighting robots movie, like kind of akin to Over the Top.
With robots?
Well, yeah, because like Over the Top was...
Does the robot have to like save his son or get custody of his son?
I don't even remember that. I think that's part of it, honestly. Real...
That's part of Real Steel?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you the plot, Adam.
Okay.
In 2020, human boxers were replaced by a robot. Charlie Kenton, played by Hugh Jackman, a former boxer, owns the robot Ambush, but loses it in an arranged fight against a bull. Because he's like, we'll have a robot fight a bull,
Okay.
just for money. You know what I mean? Because like it's just like, so he loses the robot that he had, and then his son shows up, and his son apparently has like a robot or whatever, and they or is into robots, and he's got a line on like an old robot that had basically once been famous, but now is in decay, and so they scavenged him and put him together. Anyway, so it's pretty cool, and he learns to love his son through robot fighting. It's kind of just like how Over the Top was.
Yeah.
Was Stallone and his estranged son coming together through truck stop, arm wrestling.
Yeah. Okay.
So kind of the same idea. I don't know. It's fun. It was a fun movie.
Sure.
It was good in it, and I liked it. And I saw it on a plane, and I appreciated it. So
fair enough.
Worth seeing. Anyway. What else? CHAPPiE sounds really cool, and I wish you had seen the trailer.
It does.
But you should watch it, and I think you'll enjoy it. I think the future of robots is good. Because it has to be, right?
Or else.
So you gotta be not, at least maybe not positive in your brain 100%, but you want to work towards that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's definitely not going to be not robots in the future.
Yeah.
There's going to be more and more, so we should do everything we can.
There's going to be AI in the future.
Safe. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Maybe it'll be like Dune, where we have AI and there's this huge war.
You've heard about the Amazon? God, what the name is that Amazon device? The Siri assistant that Amazon came out with. God, I'm going to find the name. It's the Amazon Echo.
I didn't know they had one.
Yeah, so the Amazon Echo is something Amazon put out. It's by invitation only. I requested my invite, so maybe I'll get one of these. It's $100, Adam, right?
Okay.
It's kind of a little black and blue tower.
Okay.
It's like Bluetooth speaker sized.
Sure.
But basically it's always connected, always on, always listening, and you just talk to it. Hands-free, controlled by your voice.
Controlled what? What do you control?
So you ask, what's the breaking news? And it will play a clip from the news. You say, what's the weather out? And it speaks back to you what the weather is. You say, play music from this guy. It plays music from that guy. Hey, set an alarm. When is
So it's basically like Siri, but you have to buy a $100 standalone unit for it?
Correct, but unlike Siri, it's meant to be no interface at all. You literally just talk to a computer. You know what I mean? There's no GUI. There's no,
So that kind of, you kind of need some way to say, hey, dude, listen now, because otherwise they'll just be fucking whenever you're listening to a movie or something like that, they'll be like, hey, by the way, the weather is. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. That's questions and answers, man. It's kind of a new technology, So I'd like to learn.
I don't know. It seems cool. I don't know. Siri, I kind of want to.
I like the idea of Siri.
Yeah,
but the idea that it's the idea is this is something that's in your house, that's always on. You can be like, hey, what time is this movie at?
That's the thing that I don't know if I want it to be always on. I want it to be on. Yeah, it's exactly what I mean. I don't want it to be always on.
It's Adam. You have to accept our robo future.
Well, I mean, the problem is stuff like maybe.
What do you have to hide?
Maybe I'm wrong, but
okay.
I want to have to activate.
Oh, you have
stuff
to say the
that,
wake
so
word.
You have to say the that makes sense.
The name is Alexa.
Alexa. Okay.
Alexa, what's the score in the Bucks game? And it'll just be like, bah, 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 bah,
I
bah.
still, I don't see that's different than saying like, hey Siri, whatever.
I don't have Siri, Adam.
Well,
But the idea is this is also connected to the Amazon Music library and Prime Music if you're a Prime member.
that's
So
good.
you can play all sorts of music through it.
Okay.
But it says like more coming soon. So like,
All
you know,
right.
it's connected to the Amazon cloud. So
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
guess I'm not against it. I just don't see how it's beneficial compared to.
I guess the key
Sorry,
here is if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's $100.
It just sounds like there's not enough to differentiate it for me from Siri, which I already
Well,
have
I
for
asked
free.
for an invite, and I think I want to buy one just because it seems like a really fun thing to fuck around with.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, I
And
have
it's
fun.
not an insane amount of money,
No.
and I can talk about it on the podcast.
Sure.
I'm rationalizing my decision here.
Yeah,
right now.
no, it just doesn't seem like that much. I mean,
there is a companion
Google
app
Voice
that you can use
and Siri are free.
to manage settings and stuff, or you can do it on your Prime account. I don't know, it just seems cool.
I'm all
you
for
know?
virtual assistants like that. I think that's super cool. I mean, it's like we were talking about her before. That's what I
Exactly.
want. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, get your Amazon Echo. Be like, hey, what's going on? What's the how long will it take me to drive from here to here? You know, and it'll be like, it'll take you 2 hours. All right, thanks, Alexa.
I guess the Will.i.am bracelet smartwatches, aside from being the worst smartwatches around, they have an assistant who is terrible called Anita, and it's ANEEDA, like I need a thing, like Anita thing.
Oh, are you talking about
The Will.i.am.
the Will? Oh my God, I read about that.
I can't
read a
remember-
review of that.
I did too. Yeah.
About how they
Yeah.
said it was so hilariously bad it doesn't even make
Yes.
sense that it's real.
And he doesn't call it. I don't think it's smartwatch, but they're like power bracelets or like.
I saw in the
kinda-
review I saw that said people with large wrists are
Yes,
fucked because
yes.
there's no way to adjust it.
I think you read the same one, and you're you're
He said the first thing he did when he clamped down his wrist is that it's pinched his skin
Yes.
and drew blood.
drew blood.
So good start.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, you know, we'll get there. You know, do you see? All right, here's a really cool thing that I know you don't care about this, but it is the NBA All-Star Weekend. But there's something really cool technology-wise going on.
Okay.
Is that Samsung has that crazy Samsung Gear virtual reality headset that they made that you can buy that connects to the Galaxy Note 4.
Yeah. Sure.
All right? So they have like their Milk video service, which is the weird video service that Samsung has. I don't know. They're trying desperately to compete with Google Play.
Right.
But on that, during All-Star Weekend, they're shooting 360 video from the All-Star game and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So the idea is you buy this video on the app, and then you can watch the game as if you were there.
That's
with
awesome.
360 video.
Yeah.
That
that's cool.
sounds like the future of movies and media, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
360 video. So
I'm still waiting for the holodeck, man. I want to be in the
how
action.
anyone will ever shoot a movie in 360 video, like where the cast and crew go for that, you know what I mean? I guess the camera is a drone at that point. And,
Yeah, I mean they did that stuff for the Matrix. I'm sure they can like.
yeah, they can figure it out.
They can do something
They
with
will.
that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so that's that. That's all I had to say.
All
I
right.
think that's really cool, though. I'd love to see what 360 video look like.
Yeah, totally.
I've never even put my head in one of these things.
I know, me either.
How do I get an Oculus dev kit? When is that fucking thing coming out?
You can buy the dev kit too right now, but it's expensive and it's not the final version.
Well, when the fuck is the final version coming out?
Whenever
Didn't they
they're
fucking
done.
kickstarted this like 4 years ago?
Whenever it's done, man. They kickstarted the Dev 1 kit, and people did get those.
Okay, no, that's fair. Oh, the dev kit 2 isn't even that expensive at all.
Isn't it like $300 or something?
Yeah.
That's pricey.
That's
for...
a lot, but it's not like insane.
No, it's not
500
insane.
is a lot.
But
You know.
$300 for something that there's not a lot of anything for.
Oh, there's a ton for it, though. You see people playing all these crazy games and videos.
You see people playing like 10 different games. Yes.
Yeah, and it looks amazing.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying I don't want to pay $300 for that until it's like part of actual gaming
When the
consoles.
motherfuck is Oculus Rift, which is a VR headset video gaming platform, when is this fucking thing coming out?
There's no date yet. It's done when it's done.
I know, but they have to, like, know where they're going with this.
They're
I
going.
mean, it's a fucking real customer product owned by Facebook now.
Yeah.
So they have to have some idea of what, like a year, 2 years.
I don't think they're saying.
Oculus Rift. Rumor says Oculus Rift is sometime this year,
Oh, that'd be cool.
mid to late this year, supposedly. It's Samsung Gear VR is the other one.
And of
So
course,
we'll
there's
see
Project Morpheus for PlayStation.
Yeah, but we need to get the fucking Oculus Rift coming out, man. I want it because
Yeah.
I have not bought a dev kit, but I
Yeah.
want it so bad to mess around with. You know,
I would like to play around with it. It does seem cool.
when was that Kickstarter?
It was a couple of years ago, I think.
Oh my god!
Actually, it was probably about 3 years ago. I think I remember in the summer before I came down here, hearing about
Yeah.
it. So I think it was probably
Let's see what Kickstarter's Oculus Rift is.
2.5 years ago, maybe.
It was Jesus,
I'm going to say 2002, midsummer.
2012
Yep. Or that's-
September.
I did that again. I said 2002
Adam,
instead of 12.
You're getting old.
Yeah.
September 12th or September 1st, 2012. So
That was right.
yeah. How do people back this? I just don't get it.
You don't understand Kickstarter.
I don't. It's weird. Like, I mean, some of these make sense, like the $300
We've
level,
already been
because you
through
actually
this,
get one.
though.
You know,
100 times.
but
We've already been through the Kickstarter thing several times.
yeah, I hate Kickstarter. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's ruined. It's ruined
Okay.
innovation.
All right.
It has though,
No, let's not get on it again.
because anyone
Come
could
on.
put their slapdash idea out there
Let's
and get people to throw money at it.
not go into it again.
Well, we're gonna go into it because I
No.
have a story I want to talk about.
No, not a Kickstarter one.
It is. We'll get to it.
All right.
Adam, what do you have? God, when did we
see.
start this?
We haven't talked about
How long has this been going?
about 45 minutes. I think.
Already?
Yeah,
Oh God!
I know.
All right, yep. Let's cruise through the topics.
I'm gonna skip a couple. I think.
Oh,
that
come
I
on!
have
No,
here.
hit me!
I was just gonna say over the past week I've watched several movies.
All right, let's do it.
I rewatched a couple of Robin Williams movies that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Adam,
It's what?
getting reminiscent.
Not really. I was looking for a movie to watch on Netflix, something like that, something free.
I'll
that I
tell
don't
you
have
what
rent.
not to watch. Jack.
It's a sad one.
Lauren and I were like, let's just start watching this movie.
Yeah.
It's the first fucking 2 minutes you start watching it,
Yeah.
and you see old ass, Robin Williams acting
Yeah.
like an 8-year-old, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh man, this is too.
I saw that in the theater.
Like how, like he said, you never go full retard.
Yeah.
You never go full 8-year-old because he commits, and it's
Yeah.
really weird to watch.
It is weird. It's a real thing though, which is bizarre.
It isn't.
Progeria is
Anyway, the way that he has it.
not the way that he has it, really. No.
Progeria is children who don't look like a regular old
No,
person.
they don't
Their
look like it.
body falls apart,
Yeah.
and they die before the age of 20.
Rapid
usually.
aging.
I know a lot about progeria.
Yep.
'Cause
Anyway,
I studied it in college.
let's get off of that. And so I rewatched a couple of movies on Netflix that I hadn't
Okay.
seen in a while. I watched them because they're movies that I had seen like when I was younger and didn't
Yeah.
really get, you know?
You wanted the let's watch this with the eyes of someone who is now a full person
Yes.
with full life experience.
The first of which was Good Morning Vietnam,
Okay.
which is a great movie.
Okay.
Like, it really is. I saw it when I was really young.
Okay.
Probably like when I was 10 or 12 or something.
Okay.
But I was, just kind of struck. Robin Williams was this guy who could do a really amazing mix of humor and like serious shit.
Yeah, he always has been able to kind of.
Yeah, he's been. I was thinking after I watched it, like, who else would you like pick to do a movie like this? Who else would like carry that
You're saying
role?
who could do that now?
Or whenever, really, other than him.
I think. Other than him,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got what seems to me a really
Jim Carrey's been able to do it.
Okay, he's done both, but I don't think he's done a great mix.
Yeah,
Of like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's
He's either in
Yeah.
fun Jim Carrey mode or dramatic actor Jim Carrey mode.
Exactly.
I always want to talk about the SNL skit they had this year, where they had a Jim Carrey impersonation like contest, where like there was like the family reunion, and all of his family members were like Jim Carrey characters, And
Okay.
if I would have written the scene, I would have written I'm the serious Jim Carrey character family. They didn't have that. It would have just been funny for him to be like, I'm the Jim Carrey from Eternal Spotless, Spotless Mind. I don't know. That would have been fun. But anyway, no, I get what you're saying. I don't think he's ever done both in one movie.
Right. It occurred to me there's not a lot of people who can pull that kind of stuff
Steve Carell
off. Steve
is
Carell
really good at pulling that shit off.
I haven't really seen him do like a ton of that kind of thing though. And even
The
then,
Office
like,
is a pretty good example.
what is?
The Office.
But none of the stuff in that is.
He's funny and weird, but then there are real person moments in it, that he does pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
right.
saying he's Robin Williams level.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that's kind of the best example I can think of
Yeah.
at hand.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. But and the other thing that I kind of noticed was just like
He did have that unique talent.
Robin Williams when he gets in that kind of manic thing going on.
When he goes full on Williams mode.
Yeah, it's one thing that's really impressive, and for another, it's just one of those things that is kind of you don't see stuff like that anymore.
It's terrifying.
It's
In a way.
kind of. In a way,
It's
it's
just like,
terrifying.
man, he's just going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You watch a stand-up special that came out, in like 2005, maybe 2006.
And some of it's a little bit dated kind of humor too.
Yeah.
It's like just kind of like weird impressions, and but he does it all like off the cuff and so fast and like rapid fire. It's just it's insane,
Mind blowing.
Yeah, but like the craziness of like all the shit that's going down in Vietnam and the stuff that he's seeing personally, and like there's kind of I won't spoil the movie if you haven't seen it. There's kind of a weird twist too in there, but it's just I don't know. It's just a kind of movie you don't see very often, and super interesting. I thought it was kind of neat to go back and see with non-child eyes.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
when I was a kid, I just like, ooh, Robin Williams, and I was enjoying all the weird manic parts, and the rest I was kind of like tuned out for. I didn't get any kind of impact. From
you know
it,
what movie I rewatched this week?
What's that?
Laura and I were trying to figure out something to watch. Watch the movie Bruno.
Oh yeah, watch that.
Movie is so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen Bruno?
No, I saw the other one.
You have to see it.
I don't
for
do
some
well
reason.
with those ones where they take real people, and
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that kind of stuff because I'm way too empathetic for the people that are getting fucked over.
Well, he doesn't actually fuck over anyone in this movie that much.
Just the awkwardness,
But
like
you've heard of the Ron Paul part in the movie, right?
I don't think I have.
Oh my god! So he's like an Austrian fashion model.
Yes,
He has a
yes.
show in Austria, and then he becomes like not, or hot or not, and so his show's canceled. He's kicked out. He's like, I'm going to go to America, go to Hollywood and make it. And he, well, you have to watch them. You'd like it. It's ridiculous. It's not as bad as Borat with fucking with people because there's less of that. It's more of just
It's that awkwardness.
being Bruno. Like he has his pilot for his show, Bruno, and it's like they air it in front of people in like a test audience.
Yeah.
And they're like real people, and he's doing this crazy shit in it. Like, there's at one point of them where it's just his dick, full frontal nudity, swirling in a circle for like a really long time, and then it points up straight at the camera forward, and the dick. Now, I'm going to use the medical term. The dick lips open, and it says, Bruno! And the audience reaction is insane. And the, like, Hollywood agent that he's obviously paid to, like, represent him is just, like, losing his mind over what he's seeing. And he, like, I think it's more fucking with, like, people in good fun. He's more, like, fucking with Hollywood fake people, basically.
In the trailers, I saw those things like with him adopting the baby and
yeah,
all this, like
there's
all
a
that
part
stuff.
where he
like,
talks to like parents,
yes,
about what they would like, and they're like, "Hey, would you allow your kid to be near open flame?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's no problem." And he's like, "Would it be okay for your child to lose 20 pounds?" And they're like, "No, we'll get it done." And it's like, oh my god, these people have children. Like the child actor parents,
yeah,
are terrible. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's worth it because it tells, just like Borat did, it tells a story throughout the whole thing of one man's travel and loss in a land and his redemption at the end. It's
I like
all in
Sacha
good
Baron
fun.
Cohen, but I prefer him when he's not doing that kind of thing.
You should see it. We'll watch it at some point because I think it's
Okay.
free on Netflix, and
right.
you'd really like it, Adam. It's so dumb. It's like more dumb than Borat, but I still think I like Borat better because the character's more ridiculous. Whereas Bruno's like, oh, I'm the gay German guy,
Right.
But there's he gets kicked out of Austria because he shows up backstage at like a event, and he wears like a full Velcro suit. And he like is stuck to the car and has to be like pulled out. And he goes backstage and like hits like a curtain and gets Velcro to the whole thing and just tears like everything apart backstage.
No.
And like he rolls out on stage and starts like strutting the catwalk in this Velcro. It's obvious like it's at a real place and people start booing him and throwing shit at him, and it's just incredible. And they're like, I was thrown out, and you'll love it because the Bruno character is ridiculous.
Okay.
And they use like, instead of saying his ass, he says my Auschwitz. It's weird. It's like fake bad German. I don't know. It's incredible. Worth watching. Anyway, what's the next one you saw?
What Dreams May Come.
Oh, fuck me, Adam. What are you watching? How was that?
I saw that one in the theater too, actually.
I remember seeing that movie when I was like 11.
Yeah.
Way too young to see that movie.
Yeah. It's super interesting.
I thought the same thing when I was a kid. I was like, this is really weird and cool.
It is, yeah, and it still is.
It's a neat idea.
Of course, I got to the part again where a lot of the movie actually revolves around like depression and suicide.
Yeah.
And,
good.
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, oof.
When did that come out? 98. So I was 13.
Yeah, and I was 14.
So I was 13 when I saw this.
I was 13 too, I think, actually. 14 maybe.
So what's the plot of What Dreams May
13,
Come,
14.
Adam?
So the movie starts out and Robin Williams like meets his soulmate in Switzerland or something like that.
Yep.
They come home, have 2 kids, jumps forward. Kids are going off to school, and him and her are staying home doing their jobs or whatever. Kids die.
Yep.
They both go through an incredibly rough time.
Yep.
The wife like attempts suicide. That's not shown there, but she later on they find out she attempts suicide there. Then stuff's going on. He says he'll pick something up for her from an art gallery because they're both she's an artist. He loves art.
Yep.
He's on the way home, tries to save somebody from a car wreck, and another car comes by and kills him. And most of the movie takes place in basically what is his afterlife.
Yep.
Or heaven for him.
But she kills herself after he dies.
And and then later on you find out, like, as... You find out they're soulmates, and his kind of heaven... she has an effect on his heaven because their souls are tied together, and you see, like, parts of it getting darker, and she eventually ends up dying, killing herself. And, there's stuff that goes on there. He's, like, learning, about himself and all the shit.
It just seems like a really neat movie because it kind
of
has its own unique view of the afterlife.
It does.
Weird.
It's a very cool one, yeah. And a lot about, like, even after you die, it's kind of about, coming to terms with what happened in your life and repairing those relationships even after you're dead, kind of. But yeah, then the end of the movie is him. Suicides go to hell, not for any religious dogmatic reason, but basically they create hell in their own minds.
Yeah, because they're trapped in a hell on Earth, and they kill themselves, and they're still in that hell. It's
kind of like a Buddhist thing where they're too wrapped up in the actual real world to believe they've died, kind of. They're too wrapped up in their own pain and stuff like that.
There's some good cast here. Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
Max von Sydow.
Yep, Max von Sydow.
There's some pretty cool stuff.
Definitely.
I wonder how it did. Boy, it certainly didn't make its money back.
Really?
$85 million budget made 72.
I'm amazed they actually did an $85 million because the effects are amazing.
It's got like a 55, so it was pretty much half and half mixed reviews.
I bet it rubs a lot of people who are religious wrong, and I bet. And I'm really amazed though, like the special effects.
I remember how incredible the movie looked.
It looks amazing. The movie itself is like a painting, and it's really well directed too. I don't know who directed it, but
some dude,
Vincent
and it is Ward.
Okay, never heard of him, but he did a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the final thing is him going into hell to get back his wife. And that kind of thing. It's super interesting.
Shit. Vincent Ward directed Traffic, the movie Traffic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was like a 90 Rotten Tomatoes. It's about nominated for a large amount of Academy Awards. So
I haven't seen that one either.
Very talented director. He also directed Leaving Las Vegas? No way. Jesus, this guy's a great director.
Yeah.
Leaving Las Vegas, also Academy Awards there. He didn't direct it, sorry. He was a producer or something, or a cast member in it. I was like, that's kind of a huge time gap between these.
Yeah.
And maybe he wasn't even directing Traffic.
Yeah. I just kind of remember from my childhood.
I spoke wrong. Traffic is obviously Steven Soderbergh. I knew that. I'm just looking at his IMDb page, and it says his highest rated, but I'm sorry. He must have just been... He was an actor. He's an actor who directed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just remember it being really interesting when I was a kid. I liked it then, and I kind of want to come back and see how I felt about it now. I just saw it, and I'm like, hey, I remember watching that when I was really young, and thought it was kind of cool. I wonder how it holds up.
It's kind of a... It's kind of like, I guess it doesn't follow one religion.
Yeah, it's just such a unique movie.
Yeah.
It's like... Honestly, I can't really think of hardly anything. The closest movie I can think of to what it's like is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
That's a weird thing to say.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But just because the whole thing takes place in like the afterlife, and it's all this other kind of philosophical weird stuff. I think it's better than Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, obviously.
Yeah.
But and more serious and
for
interesting.
Sure.
But it's on that kind of level of kind of out there though.
Yeah.
But yeah, super interesting view on life, death, and how much of the world is what we make it. Like how everything actually lies in our mind.
Yeah.
Our outlook on things. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Any other?
Those were the two Robin Williams movies I watched. I also watched today. Actually, watched Horns.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
that's Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
D-Rad.
And it's a really good movie.
Cool.
Also, kind of out there, interesting premise. Where everybody thinks he's killed his girlfriend.
Yep.
He believes he has not. And everybody's, like, demonizing him, and he starts growing these horns that are kind of supernatural and have a effect on the people around him.
Okay. So it's just kind of a weird movie.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much more into it, or else it gets kind of spoilery, but...
It sounds very complicated.
It is kind of complicated, but it's really, really cool. It's got a nice kind of supernatural intrigue mystery thing, along with kind of a suspense and mystery of who actually did it and how, and, you know...
Do you have a movie I want to see?
What?
So there's 2 movies that came out this weekend. One in wide release, one's in limited release. But hopefully it will be a wide release soon in the U.S. But the first one's Kingsman.
Yeah.
Secret Service. I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
The first trailer I saw of that, I thought it would be terrible.
The trailers are fucking not good for this because I don't know who they had to do the trailer.
Yeah.
But they're selling it. But
the more I learn about
Vaughn.
it, the more I learn about it, the more interested I am in seeing it.
Directed Layer Cake. Amazing movie. X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
You know, a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's directed quite a few great movies. You know, he was part of the production directing team in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
Oh,
you know?
cool.
So this guy is awesome, and I love his... Did Kick-Ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
Mark Millar comic book, you know, that he helped adapt. So, and this is another Mark Millar comic book.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah,
okay.
so it sounds awesome. And I think the trailers played way too much into the style, I guess, but I guess that's the whole point of the movie, because that's the whole idea, is that it's just a... He talked about he wanted to make a ridiculous action movie that's ridiculous, but not stupid.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing I think they missed. Is like in a lot of the trailers, it looks like it's more of a stupid spy comedy type thing.
It's totally not.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a tongue-in-cheek spy parody, kind of, like the comic book is, but also it is serious in its action and
Right. Whereas
stuff.
It did not seem that way in the trailers. It seemed like it was more... Because you have like Samuel L. Jackson with a lisp and... Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
They played up a lot of parts that made it seem like it was more of a joke than it was
I think it's got pretty good reviews.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 70% good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's pretty well liked, and I already love Matthew Vaughn's movies.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know that, so that makes me even more want to see
apparently Mark Hamill's in the cast at some point. So
Oh, cool.
Michael Caine, Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah,
Good cast.
I'm looking forward to it.
Can I guess what the other one is?
Sure.
Is it Paddington?
No.
Okay.
I do kind of want to see Paddington.
Everybody I've heard who's seen that movie thinks it's amazing.
So the trailers on that kind of had me, like, I guess kind of being like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
But actually, supposedly it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
got like 100% Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
from the top critics.
Right?
But it's the same production, like, team and director that did the Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
And it's kind of just, I guess it's just a lot of fun.
Like,
Basically.
everybody I talked to, or that I've heard about who's seen it, has said, like, it's really funny. It's really
a
funny and
legitimately
fun movie.
funny kids movie
Yeah.
that both kids and adults will like.
Right.
And it's fun. And I liked Paddington when I was a kid. So I like bears. I like stuffed animal bears.
Yep.
So I think I might have to see that one too. But I think this one will be on HBO Go, because I think it's the same company. So
I'm okay
I might
waiting
wait
until...
for it.
Yeah.
But the movie I was talking about is What We Do in Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows.
With Jermaine.
It's not only was it him, but it's like the same people that created and made Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, really? Okay.
Minus Brett.
Yeah.
Because he's off
Brett.
being an Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
He has an Academy Award. Brett.
What for?
The song Man or Muppet. Or maybe he was only nominated
Okay.
for an Academy Award.
That's a good song.
He did the music for that movie, the Muppet movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I have
That's
the
why
soundtrack.
the music's so good in that.
I have the soundtrack to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yes, he helped create a lot of that music. So,
I see.
But what we do in the shadows is a vampire roommates trying to get by in a modern world.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it.
And yeah, I haven't seen the trailer actually. I was put off because they had a Kickstarter for this movie.
Of course he would be.
No, but I'll tell you why. Because this movie's got release in, like, all over the world, right? And it's got, obviously, it's not like 100% an indie movie.
Yeah.
But they're like, kickstart this and spend $30 to get a DVD when it comes out. And it's like, what? Just fucking release the movie and I'll see it in theaters. Like, come on.
I mean, I imagine a lot of that money is actually going towards deals to get it in theaters.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because a movie should just get paid to be in theaters.
Yeah, but they actually have to convince people to actually... Like, movies like that, you have to convince people to
on Rotten
carry
Tomatoes,
them.
It's got like a 95%, so
Yeah. All right.
it's obviously well received, so I'm sure it'll come out. That's why I didn't want to Kickstarter. I'm like, this is going to come out and I'll watch it. So
Well, they've said they don't have, like, a wide release in America.
I know, but I mean, like, the Kickstarter was for, like, an American release. And it's like, I'm not going to kickstart an American release for a film that I'm going to be able to see because it's made and released already.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
it seems like a weird ask. But, you know, I love the people in it, so.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to see that whenever I can, however I can. I hope it'll probably be at the Sundance in town, so.
Yeah, probably.
So that's my movie I want to see. All right, we got to move on.
Yep,
We're pushing time.
we are.
Adam, I think there is something that you and I both wanted to talk about.
I do. Yes. There was a stealth pilot of Wheel
Pilot
of Time.
in quotes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Stealth in quotes.
No, it was definitely stealth.
Well,
There's nothing unstealthy about this shit.
Very, very easily and quickly discovered.
Well, yeah, but they bought
They
like
attempted to stealthily release it.
they bought infomercial time to play it. Like it wasn't like part of a deal with FXX
So tell me
or
about
anything.
the Wheel of Time, Adam.
Wheel of Time is a series of 15 books written mostly by Robert Jordan.
Where a bunch of guys walk around a lot.
There's more than that, but you can
Not
say
a
the same
lot.
thing about Lord of the Rings.
And I do say the same thing about Lord of the Rings.
But and Bryan Sanderson, who finished off the last two or
Yes,
three,
because Robert Jordan
Died.
had a horrible blood disease
amyloidosis, I think.
and died.
Yeah.
It's one of those diseases that you Google and think that you have, probably. I'm just going to assume. Anyway, yeah, explain it because you're way more. I read like the first 5 books.
Yeah, I've read them all. Most of them several times. Gee, how to sum up 15 books worth of shit in one thing. So there's like it's
a grand fantasy series.
it's a grand epic fantasy good versus evil type thing. There's the light and the dark or the shadow. Evil like devil like entity and the forces of evil, kind of like Sauron and all that shit. And it's about mainly 3 guys and 3 or 4 chicks from the world and this town who are wrapped up in like the fate of the world. Like in this world, the Wheel of Time is, changes and ages come and go, and they're all part of this fabric of reality that kind of gets spun out over and over again.
Yep.
And they're like main parts of this weaving of fate. Like sometimes their effect on the world, they actually affect fate to cause good or bad things around them, and it usually helps them survive things they probably shouldn't. One of them is basically the rebirth of a Jesus kind of like figure almost.
Okay.
There are magic users. At this point in time, or at least when the books begin,
Yep.
they're all women because back in the last age, when they sealed up Satan or whatever,
Yep.
he tainted the male side of this magic force they use, the one power that has both female and male sides to it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of
And
got
men-
from the book. Is
yeah,
that if
men
men
die and go
use
crazy.
magic, they get fucked up from it.
They do. They go mad and they die early. So yeah, it's basically the story of them. One of them is this savior figure reborn,
Yep.
and it's them kind of, and it's the end of basically the end of the age. The world's coming to an end, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apocalypse kind of deal.
Is nigh.
Is nigh. Apocalypse is nigh. And it's just a story of, them trying to defeat that through various ways over a long period of time.
Through a million books.
Through a million books. I love them. I do. I love them. There's lots of amazing...
I liked them when I was reading them, but it's just so much.
They're a little bit too descriptive, too wordy. Tolkien-esque in that fashion.
Very wordy. Too much for me.
There's some great dialogue. There's genuinely funny, interesting parts. There's lots of cool action.
So, in a world where Game of Thrones is huge, this has got to be a big deal, right? This property?
The property itself is a big deal.
Yeah.
And potentially could be a big deal in mainstream.
But what's wrong? Why is it not a big deal, Adam?
It's a big deal because...
Why isn't it a big deal?
Red Eagle Entertainment,
yes,
who currently owns the rights, movie and TV rights for this, we're going to lose their rights by February 13th?
11th, I think?
Oh, 11th. That's right, 11th. So, this pilot came out on February 9th, so they could keep those rights. The pilot was written in a day and filmed in like a week or less, or something like that. The whole thing took like a week to do, including the writing, directing, producing, acting. And even through all that, they got Billy Zane somehow.
So they basically pooped out
a pilot.
Yep, just so
Which
they
understandably,
could be like, hey, we made something with this, so we're using the license, so we get to keep it.
I watched it.
Much akin to the Fantastic Four movie that came out that was never released. The 90s, Captain America movie that came out that was directed by Roger Corman. That were basically like, hey, we've got to use these rights, so or else we lose them. Use it or lose it,
Yeah.
So you start off. First off, the intro is the most 90s ass CG you can imagine.
Yes. No effects practically at all.
Oh no.
In fact, this entire 30-minute episode was actually the prologue of the first book, which is actually a really cool kind of scene. I actually ended up watching it, and it was... Once I figured out how long it took them to actually do it, I was actually kind of impressed at what they managed to get out in a week. But overall, it was fairly disappointing.
Yeah. Definitely. As someone who's a fan of the series...
As someone who's a fan, it was...
To see the first thing come out be some pooped out in a week.
Yeah.
And the Red Dragon Entertainment says, this is the first of many things we're going to do with this. This is clearly kind of a pilot that's going to be a precursor to a full series.
Yeah. It was not the introduction of the series, although it was a pilot. Certainly, we want fans to find out about it and be excited that there's a lot more to come.
Because nobody knows about this book series.
Right. So, yeah, this is... Basically, it's just kind of a sad thing that happened. And actually,
it's
even crazier now because the director of the pilot, who I guess was actually kind of excited about the project and into it, died in a car wreck.
A car accident, yeah.
Which is terrible.
Yep.
And now there's been, like, the widow of Robert Jordan, who owns Bandersnatch Company, which the rights were going to go back to.
Yep.
And they talked about is furious about it. She put out a thing saying, I didn't know anything about this. I hadn't heard about it. I'm going to take steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. But then they are actually suing her now because basically they did have the rights at the time. They didn't have a reason to actually let her know legally. And it's a whole fucking mess, and it's all terrible. And
it's totally what you want.
It makes me sad as a fan.
To start a beautiful series. It's
right.
A bunch of lawsuits over the rights.
Exactly.
Yeah, garbage.
Exactly. And to tell you the truth, it's one of those things where it's 15 books and they're incredibly dense, and I don't know how you would actually... I hate to say the word unfilmable because I don't necessarily believe that's a thing.
I would have thought Game of Thrones was unfilmable.
Exactly.
But they did it.
They did it. So I'm not going to say it's unfilmable, but it's one of those things where I think it definitely would require some time, some effort, some thought.
A deft hand.
A deft hand.
A very talented team.
Probably maybe something more than just cable, preferably like something like HBO or
Paid cable.
Where there's some budget, something, anything but this.
Yep.
You know?
The funny part, too, is that the rights are like, the production rights were through like Universal,
Yeah.
I believe.
Well,
or
here's
the
the
company
thing.
does, and they aired it on FX, which is owned by Fox, because that was the only network they could buy the time on for the price that they wanted.
Well, that's what the widow said. Harriet had said that they had stuff in place with Universal. However, part of the lawsuit where they're suing her, they said yes, we optioned them to Universal for a year, but that had actually their time had run up a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So actually, they didn't need to do anything with Universal.
What the fuck ever?
It's a big fucking mess, and I hate it. And I wish, if somebody does it,
I mean, this is like literally some fucking, some just like crazy pulling the rug out bullshit going on. I mean, it's just like
until
a blatant, not cash grab, but rights grab. You know?
Yeah.
And it's gross.
It is gross. I understand why they'd want to keep the rights, though. But yeah. I just wish.
But it's just obviously it's like one of those like patent troll companies. Like they have the rights, so they're just basically doing whatever they can to keep it because they think it's going to be profitable for them to sell it to the highest bidder when someone's like, "Hey, we should actually make this."
Yeah,
an actual director gets, or not an actual director, because I'm sure the guy who directed it is a nice guy and was a great director, but like a big budget, big name director will be like, "Hey, I like those books. I want to do it."
Yeah.
And then they'll pay big money for it.
And to be honest, I don't even really care about the rights thing. I just wish that stuff like this wasn't necessary in order for them to keep rights.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the fact that they had to do this in order to keep their rights is gross, yeah. And before Patrick Rothfuss came along with King Killer Chronicles, I could probably say that these were my favorite book series of all time. King Killer Chronicles, I think, beats them.
King Killer Chronicles is incredible.
It is. It's so incredible. But these, I think they started in 91, 93, or something like that. I literally have been reading these books my entire childhood, all the way up through and past college. Yeah. And the last one came out, fucking 2 years ago or something. So, I've literally been reading these books my entire life, and I've loved them the entire time. So yeah, this is just one of those things I really wanted to point out and just say, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. But I do want to see it. I would like to see somebody do it right.
Excited for the King Killer Chronicle TV show that's supposedly in production?
At the rate that Patrick Rothfuss writes, that would be terrible to do.
Well, the King Killer Chronicles show is supposedly coming to television, produced by New Regency Productions and 20th Century Fox.
That's
so it's going to be on Fox TV, probably.
Yeah.
One would assume. Or FX. They own that, too.
Yep.
You know. New Regency, known for producing Malcolm in the Middle, among other shows. So, all right. I don't know. Let's hope that ends up well.
Yeah, I do.
We'll see. I mean, they can do a lot with what they have now.
I'm willing definitely to give anybody a chance.
His going to
stuff.
wizard school, basically.
Yeah.
Is a big deal in the books and could definitely get a whole series out of just that part of his life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is incredible. And I think it's going to be great because, and it's definitely probably going to be the next big fantasy show. It's not going to be it's going to be King Killer Chronicles because it's just good. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like Game of Thrones crossed with Harry Potter, if I could say.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, it's a lot. It's a younger guy, you know, who's like, 14, 15, 16 during a lot of it.
Starts out, he's
he's a little kid when he starts out. But
he's 15, I think, through most of it.
But yeah, so he's like, kid attending school to become, a magician or what
Arcanist.
Arcanist, thank you. I was like, I'm trying to think of what magic word was used, but
yes.
But it kind of goes through that, and it's a really unique, fleshed out fantasy world with great characters, great dialogue, great just plot. I mean, it's like the way Harry Potter's plot always was. It was just You have these characters you like. They're going for a cause that they believe in that not everyone else does, and they're uncovering mysteries. It's just really awesome to follow.
And actually, it's actually
page turner.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's a lot more like Harry Potter than I would even think.
It really is,
including the very beginning.
Yeah. We're talking about an orphan child here.
Yeah, we are.
But I mean, that's the hero trope. You know what I mean? The overall,
definitely.
On
your own.
But he's not like Harry Potter in the way that Harry Potter doesn't know and kind of drags his feet to greatness.
One thing I
Quoth knows he's hot shit.
He does.
And it's kind of awesome.
It is awesome.
Because he's hot shit. He is hot shit. But he still does stupid stuff that gets him into trouble.
And I love the way magic, or as they call it, sympathy, in that world works. It's very even scientific.
Yeah.
It's magic, but it's really scientific magic.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
and it's like hard, realistic magic, kind of.
Kind of similar to the way that the magic works in... what's that anime?
Anime?
With all the crazy alchemy in it. Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, yeah.
Where you kind of have to use...
Right.
You to get something to happen, you got to use something. So, if you want to light a candle from far away, you got to suck heat out of your body to make that happen.
Yeah.
You have it's kind of like a law.
Or funnel it from a source.
Exactly.
Energy. There's still the conservation of energy.
Yes, you can't create energy from nothing. You have to do it. So if you want to do some crazy magic, you could drain. And you have nothing else to link to. You could drain your body of energy. In a bad way. Or you could drain someone else's energy in a scary way, and it's kind of neat in that way. So I don't know. It's very unique and cool. That series will be great.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm sure the source material is so good. Then again, Avatar was some great source material.
Oh,
we saw
man.
Where that movie went.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was horrific.
Yeah, but, you gotta have hope. So we'll hope it's good.
Gotta have faith, George Michael says.
All right. Before we get on to Adam Survives, I did want to talk about a Kickstarter.
Oh, my God.
You heard of the game God? This is blowing up right now this week, so I kind of want to talk about it.
Okay.
Have you? Because it's topical right now. Godus was a game that was kickstarted by Peter Molyneux, the famed game developer who made titles such as Black and White, Populous, some incredible games on the PC back then. Fable games, some games that are very well received and loved. Fable 2. I love Fable 2. That was a great game.
Fable 2 was great.
What else was great? Black and White, I loved.
I like Black and White a lot,
I never
too.
played Populous. I think I was a little too young for that.
Me either.
But he made some great games, and he made the Curiosity What's in the Cube app, where you tapped cubes to get to the center for a life-changing
Did you ever even, see that?
What?
Download it or anything?
What? Oh, I played that game, yeah.
Oh, did you? I didn't.
Yeah, I messed with it. It was actually kind of had the popping bubble wrap feel. It just felt good to notch off little squares, and complete a section and see it's empty, and you could see the cube in live, real time, other people taking spots. So at the center of the cube, person who got the last tap got what was called a life-changing thing. It would change your life forever. And it turned out in the center of the Curiosity Cube was video of Peter Molyneux announcing the new game, Godus, which is going to be his new god game in the theme of Black and White, where you're kind of this benevolent god that rules over an island of people and stuff. And it's just like Black and White. It's going to be awesome and new and cool. And they had a Kickstarter, wanted £500,000, got 800,000, people's money. And we're we're going to put it out. This was in 2012, I think this Kickstarter came out. It was during the great Kickstarter video game boom of back then, 2012.
Yeah.
It's 2015. Game came out in 2013 in a really buggy alpha, but they said, we're releasing the alpha for you guys, for early backers and everything. And we got this mobile version we're working on, but we're going to focus on the PC version because that's what we want, the PC game. But the mobile version is going to help support it. And they released the mobile version that was backed by a publisher, and it is basically your freemium, run-of-the-mill freemium game.
Yeah.
And it is much more of a complete game than the PC game that everyone wanted. And they recently announced in an interview meeting kind of thing to their backers that they're losing staff and kind of announcing another game and starting to move away from this game
or something
that is not in any way completed to the level of which people wanted. They were supposed to be multiplayer, and in the center of the Curiosity Cube, that guy who was the last clicker was going to be the god of gods in the game Godus. And he would have special powers. He was going to get a 1% cut of all of the sales from the game. So he was going to get a sizable chunk. You know, they were expecting if it sold okay for him to get 10 to 50,000 pounds. But, you know, if it blew up and got crazy, he was going to get, you know, a ton of money. So that's great. Have some say in the development. He'll, you know, have all this kind of cool stuff. And basically absolutely none of that has happened.
I think I read this interview as well.
Did you read the Rock Paper Shotgun interview?
I did, yeah.
Holy
no, wait.
shit.
I read a Eurogamer one, actually.
Okay. Yeah, interview with the kid.
Yes,
that was particularly good.
Yeah.
This came out today at noon. The Rock Paper Shotgun interview.
Okay.
You have to read this interview. Holy shit. I'm going to just read you an excerpt. Here's the interview begins with John Walker from Rock Paper Shotgun. The first line is, he asks Peter Molyneux, gets in a phone conversation, says, "Do you think you're a pathological liar?"
Wow.
Peter Molyneux is, you know, starts to speak. And he says, "I know it's a harsh question, but it seems an important question to ask because there do seem to be lots and lots of lies piling up." And it just goes downhill from there.
Oh,
It is a
man.
complete evisceration of Peter Molyneux. I mean, this guy, John Walker, comes with quotes that he had in the past where it's very clear he said all these pie-in-the-sky things that they're not doing now.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you literally lied to everyone. And he's like, I wasn't lying. It's what I wanted to do, but it just hasn't come out. And it's just the basic over-promising of Peter Molyneux, which has happened everyone knows it, who knows video gaming. Peter Molyneux has all these pie-in-the-sky ideas about what he can do. But the games never seem to have exactly what he said, but they've been good enough for people to be like, wow, he had all these crazy ideas, but, you know, whatever. He made an okay game. I liked Fable 2. But this Kickstarter is basically seeming, and it hasn't been announced, and he goes on to talk about they're still working on the game, and, you know, it's not over because, you know, it's been delayed, and they're not done yet, and that's shitty, and he wishes they were done, but they're not. But they're not working on it, you know what I mean? He's like going on, we're still working on it, and all this stuff. And he admits he feels really bad about how they kind of abandoned this god of gods guy they crowned, who he hasn't apparently spoken to him in the last 2 years. Very, you know, minimal contact.
Oh, yeah. The Eurogamer interview I read was actually with the kid, mostly.
Yes, who had won the God of Gods.
Yes, exactly. And, yeah, he's just like, they brought me in. I brought a friend, and we played it for like 3 hours. I enjoyed it for 2. I enjoyed it for 2, and played another hour.
I didn't want to seem rude, so we kept playing. But the interview is just pages and pages of an interview where he just hashes it out with Peter Molyneux, and Peter Molyneux breaks down. It gets real, this interview.
Oh, wow!
You have to read this because the guy from Rock Paper Shotgun, bless him. I feel bad for Peter Molyneux from this because I mean he is just stabbing him with these questions, you know, and he's talking about like. You know, he says in an interview, you know, I don't go to these conferences. I don't do that stuff because I'm focused on making the game. He comes back. I saw the other day you were talking about how luxurious this hotel you were staying at because you were attending this conference. He's like, oh, well, I was there. You know, it's just like, it's just crazy. He knows everything. I mean, this is, you know, the Frost Nixon of video gaming. You know what I mean? They mention Watergate in this interview. He's like saying you're making this out to be, you know, Watergate, and he's like, well, you know, to a lot of people, $500,000, you know, people want their game. Where is it? You know, and you keep saying you're going to do all this stuff, but you've been saying it for years, and it's not coming out. You know, and it's just so It's incredible, and you have to read this interview. I'll link it on the site, but it is just and that's what I say, man. I'm not going to rant about Kickstarter because everyone's heard my Kickstarter rants, but and he actually talks about how much he doesn't like Kickstarter, Peter Molyneux, because it sucks. And when you think about it for a game, it completely sucks for the way that you want to make a game, because the way Kickstarter works is you ask for an amount of money. But he knows, and he talks about this in the interview, and he rails on him. He's like, because that $500,000 is not enough money to make that game.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Not even close, because, you got people working in the team that are making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, programmers on the team.
Sure.
Making this game per, and you have to pay that salary a month. I mean, that's like $200,000 a month in salary. You know what I mean? That's going to get you, 3 months of development? That's not going to be enough to make a game. But they know that. And he's like, you can't ask for $1.5 million because you're not going to be able to get that. And if you don't get that, you get no money.
Yeah.
It's the way Kickstarter works.
Unless you're Double Fine, then you get...
Double Fine, they ask for a second Kickstarter to finish the game, but, which a lot of projects have started to do now. Not a lot of, but it's happened a few times. But it's just kind of like And he rails on how they had a Linux stretch goal that they met, and they knew full well that the program language game engine they were running does not work on Linux in any way.
Ooh.
So it would have to be completely converted, and they were like, that's never going to happen.
That's terrible.
Well, it just was something they thought that they were going to be able to do.
Well, and
because that's Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean...
And so he said, you got to ask for a small amount of money so that you actually can get some money to start working on it. And it's a really bad situation for game companies. I mean, this Kickstarter works for the small indie developer where it's just one guy working out of his house making a game. But for these big groups, it's one lump sum of money, that Kickstarter gets a cut of, It blows my mind that people use it. Kickstarter takes 10% cut.
Right.
Of that, so the Kickstarter got $80,000 for just hosting their page. Like you could have just done PayPal donations, on your own. It wouldn't have gotten the visibility Kickstarter did. But it just blows my mind, and it's very clear that a lot of video games are not using Kickstarter as much now because it is just it's tough, Because with a production company, the traditional way of making a game is you have a game idea, sell it to a production company. They're like, okay, we got money. We're going to pay your salaries and stuff so you can make the game, and then you'll get some money when the game's released, and we'll get a big cut of the money when the game's released. That's how it works. It's how it's worked forever. But now, you go to Kickstarter, and you're accountable not just to a company where, they have more money. They can give you more months because they've invested time and money into your game.
Right.
Whereas with Kickstarter, you have fans who really want to support a game that they like, and that's really cool because you can gauge interest off that, and see who's going to be interested. But you're accountable to fans. You're not accountable to some company that can give you more money. You're accountable to the fans that gave you their money, aren't going to give you any more because they already paid for a copy, and it's just crazy, And it blows my mind, and it blows my mind that people still back stuff like that. Like I railed on that card game. Yeah, that card game's a perfect thing to back because they're going to be able to make that.
Yeah, totally.
It's going to come out. I think $20 for that card game is a steep ask, but that's me. You know? If you're willing to pay that, feel free. They're going to put it out. It'll be cool. It'll be hilarious because the oatmeal guy is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like stuff like this. It just blows my mind. Like that Broken Age thing. Any of this Double Fine stuff. It just blows my mind that people will throw money at that. And it's like, I'll just play the game when it comes out, and I'll pay for it, and I'll like it hopefully. But at least Double Fine has been doing stuff because Eric, my brother, kickstarted back the Massive Chalice game.
I did too. Yeah.
And he said they just constantly have updates.
They do.
Live video feeds of production meetings.
Yeah,
and videos of them doing like programming and stuff. So it's like a full on you're getting the experience of being there.
They have too many updates in my opinion.
No, exactly. So it's worth it though as a backer.
Yeah, no, it is.
So even if you only spent your $15 to get the game,
right,
or $20 or however much it was, you're still getting a lot of content out of it. So if the
Absolutely.
game explodes, and you only get like some bad, alpha that is all they could finish before the money ran out, it's like, hey, you know what? I didn't get the game, but I got at least $15 out of it.
Yeah.
Which is a good way to do it.
Yeah, totally.
Which is nice. But that's not what the Godus people have been doing.
No, I'm glad somebody has. I like Peter
Because you
Molyneux
got to
games.
kick these
but
people in the butt that are
You do.
going to ruin it
I
for
think this is
everyone.
necessary.
He talks in this interview about this guy named Conrad, who was a fan of the game, who's also a programmer, who was so mad at the direction of the game that he went on the forums and eventually got a hold of Peter Molyneux and did free work on the game for them, and eventually got hired by the company 22 Cans to become a programmer. And he recently said, like this week or last week, that I don't know if this multiplayer stuff is going to actually ever happen.
Yeah.
Because we're way far off from it.
Yeah.
And that is the whole God of Gods multiplayer, that was
Well,
promised.
they haven't got combat in it yet.
No,
of any
they don't
kind.
even have a combat mechanic in this game.
Yeah.
It's not even a game, It's, it's an alpha. And that's what it is. And this is what people paid for.
Yep.
You got it. So, buyer beware, Kickstarter. That's all I got to say.
Well, Peter
All right.
Molyneux beware. For sure.
Also, Molyneux beware. All right, we got to end this.
Yeah, I
So
think you're right.
Let's have Adam survive,
Oh, okay.
and we'll talk about wrestling.
Cool.
Adam,
Yep.
what are you going to survive?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'll tell you. Adam, you're on a safari. I know this is a stretch.
Oh, boy.
Adam?
I survived this by not ever going on a safari.
Okay,
That's
but
not
let's
my
just
style.
say, like, comment, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants us to go on a safari. Kickstart Jon and Adam's African Adventure.
All right.
We'll live video from that. Everyone will get to see Adam and me hanging out with some animals.
I don't know. I might pop Peter Molyneux this one.
You're overpromising, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, you're coming. I'll make you.
Okay.
All right, so we end up there. You get separated from the safari group. We're in the savannah.
Okay. So it's
You-
like not a lot of jungle. It's like flat open plains kind of.
Scrub.
Scrub.
You know,
Sure.
a scraggly tree here or there, kind of on the edge of the forest.
Yeah. Tall grass. Okay.
Tall grasses. You get separated. You look up. Rhino.
Oh my God.
A rhinoceros staring you down. You're in his area. It's a bull rhinoceros. Angry.
Mm-hmm.
What do? First thing you do, Adam, you're face to face with this rhino. He's yards away, within charging distance, obviously. What do?
If I'm safari, I have a gun, right?
No. You don't have a gun. The safari guy has a gun. We don't have guns.
I thought
We're
we paid to hunt
This is
exotic
not a
animals.
hunting safari.
Listen, if I'm going on safari, I want to shoot me some exotic animals.
We're paying.
The rarer, the better.
The rarer, the better. We're paying to snap photos, not snap bullets at
My first thought is-
endangered rhinos.
My first thought is I need to get that horn.
I need that ivory.
Exactly.
Adam, it sells well. It's an aphrodisiac. Rhino
Yeah.
horn, ground
That's what
up.
I hear.
Let's
save some
what do you
for
do,
myself.
Adam? What do you do?
Let's see. It's in charging distance.
Yep, charging distance. It's staring you down. It's kind of pawing at the ground.
Okay.
How to escape from a charging
Does it appear
rhino.
as though is it going to charge? Like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
You've been told by the safari guy, be like, Adam. I'm gonna do my African safari guy accent.
Oh, great.
Adam, you see a rhino. You paw like that, like the paw, the claw on the ground,
Yeah.
He's charging.
Okay.
So you don't want that. Stay with me, I have the gun.
Okay.
You got separated, Adam.
All right.
What do you do?
Let's see.
Around you,
Okay.
there's some sparse trees and some sparse scrubs.
Okay.
Some scrubs.
My first
Some Zach
instinct.
Braff
Yeah.
and Donald Faison hanging out.
All right.
No, some scrub brush.
Are there any trees?
There's trees.
My first thought is to move in a perpendicular pattern to the rhino's run
Yep.
towards the nearest tree I can find to get behind
All right.
it.
As soon as you start moving, he's going to start charging at you. So you're going to have to run at that tree.
All right, I'm running for the tree. Like I said, perpendicular. Like, so I'm not.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not doing the Prometheus deal. I'm smarter than that.
Yep. You're not going to run away
No.
the same way he's running at
In
you.
his
You're
line
gonna
of
run
charge.
sideways.
Yes.
So he's going to have to turn.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
I try to bullfight this guy. Like,
Okay.
You know.
Yep. What do you do? So you run to the tree. What are you doing with the tree?
I'm not going to climb it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep the tree between me and the rhino.
Okay.
If he appears like he's going to charge the tree, I'm going to run for the next tree.
Okay.
I'm going
to try hide and seek here.
Yes, I'm going to play hide and seek. I'm going to try to keep objects between it and me. Try to break its line of sight. And I'm going to try to keep moving in a perpendicular fashion to its charge. That is my goal. Till I can either get away from it so it's not seeing me, or to make my way back to, if I can hide in some scrubs or something like that. So
Okay.
They can't see me.
A surprised rhino's first instinct is typically to charge a threat, whether real or imagined. They love charging because they're built for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
you don't want to try stand there and look bigger than anything. It's not going to work.
This is a white rhino, of course, or a black rhino.
Sure.
I'm sorry, black rhino. Sorry. The Indian Sumatran rhinos are forest dwelling, more tame, but their front horn can be as long as 62 inches, Adam.
Shit, son. It's 5 feet.
Rhinos can charge and attack vehicles and have been known to. It can chase one for more than a mile. A large male could easily knock over a car.
Okay.
So he rams the tree that you're at.
Like I said, if he starts charging the tree, I'm behind. I'm going to perpendicular it again.
He's going to ram the next tree the same way.
Okay, I'm going to keep running towards, I'm going to try to find some
that
scrubs.
dangerous horn is getting too close to you.
All right, I need to get down, under, some scrub or,
so you're
some
running into the
grass.
scrub brush.
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
A rhino probably will not follow you into thick scrub brush.
Woo! All right.
Get in as far as possible. The
Yeah.
adrenaline will prevent you from noticing the thorns.
Totally.
Until you try and get out. Excellent, Adam.
Nice.
Another thing you can do
Yeah.
is you can totally bullfight them.
That's what I was saying, man. You gotta get that. That perpendicular.
Rhinos will generally continue running in the same direction without turning, just because they usually just charge threats just to gauge a threat. They're not likely to turn around and come back for another attack. Once you've evaded the charge, run in the opposite direction. Get away from that rhino with the opposite direction it charged from. So that's rhinos can climb steep slopes and also charge into water and mud. They're monsters.
Yes.
This is a bull rhino, so he's not aggressively defending a calf and charging all threats, but usually male rhinos' first instinct is to charge.
Okay.
Other options. There's no scrub available. I gave you scrub and trees.
Yeah.
Climb a tree is the number one option. They
Really?
can't climb.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I thought if we're talking scrub, not big trees, I thought they just knock the tree down.
If these are smaller trees, judgment call. If you climb a tree,
all right,
they're going to charge at the tree and likely be like, okay, he's not a threat anymore. I'm getting out of here.
My first instinct was to climb, but then I thought, if it charges the tree, then
It could knock
fucked.
you over, but they wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But if you're on the ground, it certainly will.
Yeah, totally.
Stand your ground and shout is another option. Apparently,
I would have thought that would be bad, because I considered that as well. But
are extremely... they have poor eyesight and are attracted to movement. Very much like the T-Rex and whatchamacallit?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. So if no tree is available, allow you to escape. Stand and face the animal. They have poor eyesight, but are attracted to movement. And as the rhino approaches, scream and shout as loud as you can. A charging rhino may veer from a loud, shouty opponent because it's scared. It's just trying to spook you into running away from it because they don't want anything fucking them up, so they just scare them away.
boy, that sounds like a dangerous call to make.
So there you go, Adam. Run into scrub brush because they're not going to charge scrub brush.
Nice.
Because they're only interested in things that can hurt it. Something that's going into scrub's too small.
All right.
Adam, bonus. How to survive a stampede of giraffes.
Oh.
This is a quick bonus one. This is a short one.
Okay.
Wade into bodies of water. Giraffes avoid water except for drinking.
Interesting.
That's it. They don't like to go in water. So that's the easiest way to do it. Elephant stampedes are similar. Take cover, climb a tree.
Okay.
If you can't, protect your face. Lie prone on the ground. They'll typically avoid a prone person because they think you're dead. So that's it, man. Africa. Like, comment, subscribe. Send us to Africa. Adam survives yet again.
Man, I'm on a roll.
You're doing well. Your instincts.
Yeah.
Playing well. The ham instincts are playing well. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I just want to leave you with this. A porno version of Pocahontas. Poke her hot ass.
Nice.
Poke her hot ass.
Okay. All right.
Just want to say that. All right. We're going to end this episode. Stay tuned for wrestling talk. We're going to talk about NXT Takeover Rival, which is awesome. But if you're not interested in wrestling, we will see you next week. What's the website, Adam?
bornintheeighties.net.
You can comment. We'll talk about your comments. You can call us out about our terrible rhino knowledge or terrible... That's the book, man. It's telling me this, so... be beef on that book. But, if you want to send us a message, you can do it there. You can comment on the episodes. There'll be links. I'll have the videos we talked about. God, what were those videos we talked about?
Taekwondo ones. And...
Taekwondo videos, yes, that were shared.
Yeah.
Put those
if
up.
you're Peter Molyneux and you want to defend yourself.
Yep, feel free. Well, I'll interview you for sure.
Yep.
I definitely won't be as much of a dick as this rock, paper, shotgun guy was. Because I have less of a bone to pick. Because I didn't back the game, or I'm sure this guy did. So that's it, honestly. We'll catch you next week. Adam, what's your word of the week?
Word of the week?
Yep, we're just... Well, I want... like podcasts have segments, I'm gonna get a million segments.
Okay.
We got Adam Survives. We got Word of the Week. We got Porno Name of the Week. Porno version name of the week.
My word of the week is frosty.
Frosty.
Yeah.
So that's, you heard it from Adam. Stay frosty out there, people. We'll see you next week. Live from Madison, Wisconsin, and Bloomington, Adam? Or normal? Bloomington, Illinois. Jon and Adam talk about the wide world of wrestling. That's right. I do my own sound effects. I'm a regular that
Foley
guy
artist.
that guy from that movie about Police Academy.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even know.
I kind of do.
Police Academy guy. Google search.
Oh, man, what is his name? I know it, too.
Who's that police? Michael Winslow, you motherfucker.
Winslow. Yep.
Man of 10,000 sound effects. That guy's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right. Michael Winslow. Another tag to put on the episode. Okay. No, wrestling happened. NXT Takeover Rival. Adam, what have you watched? Did you watch Raw or anything?
Okay. So I watched NXT Rival.
Yep.
I watched most of Raw.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Although
I tune in and out of Raw.
I wanted to talk about something else before we talk about the shows, though.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard this or not. But there were nude photos.
Are you
leaked.
talking about the Rollins dick pics?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I heard about this. It happened during Raw, so I was talking about it during Raw.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize.
It happened during Raw.
Yep.
So when Seth Rollins came out for the main event of Raw, he was knowing all that shit going on backstage. Mm-hmm. Kind of sucks, but the show goes on.
Yep.
So Seth Rollins gotten some weird issues here. Obviously, his phone was hacked.
Maybe.
I think his phone was hacked. And by hacked, I think that his fiance got a hold of the phone, found some text messages with a certain lady and some pictures, or maybe at least a picture she sent. This is an NXT diva who's up and coming, who hasn't been on TV but is like working in the performance center. And apparently they've had a bit of a relationship outside of his relationship with his fiancée.
Seems that way.
So she posted that image to his Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything of her naked. This lady, what are they called? Not a cuckold. That's the man.
I think it's pretty much the same thing.
Anyway, the lady that he's cheating on his fiancée with, photo of her, and that shit blew up. And then other text messages came out, like basically of just him.
Well, his fiancée sent out the ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Of him.
Of him, like, talking about how he hated his life and loved this chick, and he hated his fiancée, and it was all bad. So personal messages became public, and then she retaliated by sending out photos that he had obviously sent her from his phone.
Yep.
Of him fully nude.
Yep.
And fully bonerified.
Yep.
So you want to see Seth Rollins naked?
Did you see the pics?
I, unfortunately, clicked on links without knowing them.
Yeah, I did too.
Saw too much.
Yep, pretty much.
I apologize. I didn't want to see them.
Yeah.
But I saw them because I was curious, and that was bad.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. It sucks.
They're
out of my mind, and I'll never think of them again.
Yep.
Or have I stored them away? No. I have not. Seth Rollins is a handsome gentleman, but not my type.
Yeah.
Too much ab. He's a manly man. He's got the beard.
Yeah.
Not my type. Anyway, so yeah, that happened.
That happened. I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was...
It's crazy.
You don't hear a lot of stuff like that. Well, I guess you kind of do.
It didn't really get much worldwide national attention.
No. I found out on Facebook, though. I was like... it was trending on Facebook.
Yeah.
For a bit.
He got... Honestly, I don't think he's going to get in any trouble because he probably will get scolded for why the fuck do you have that shit on your phone?
Well, I guess...
someone could steal that and it would all come out.
I guess it was on the WWE site for a while because they have...
It was on the WWE website because they have live feeds of Twitter.
Yeah, they aggregate their Instagram feeds and stuff.
So that showed up on Twitter. But it was quickly taken down. But, not fast enough for the internet to not see it.
And he issued an apology.
Especially since it happened during Raw, which leads me to believe that this was probably pre-planned to happen while everyone was working.
Quite possibly.
But, obviously a spat between there. Some revenge porn-esque things happened where naked photos were shared.
Yeah.
Bad shit.
Bad shit.
Nope.
I just want to bring it up because
it's
a lot of interesting, weird news around wrestling.
It is. And I feel bad for the guy.
Me too.
I feel bad for his fiancée. It's a bad situation all around.
Indeed.
Everyone did shitty things. But I don't think it's going to affect his career.
No, I don't either.
Fucking goddamn...
He issued an apology real quick.
Yeah, he did. And, it's fine. It happened. It's a mistake. It's bad. But we'll move past it.
Indeed.
He's Money in the Bank winner.
That's right. Mr. Money in the Bank.
Mr. Money in the Bank. Mr. Manager.
So, yeah, I watched NXT. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to get Raw out of the way.
Yep.
First, I think, if that's okay.
You sound really computery right now, Adam.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Why?
Like you sound auto-tuned.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Is your connection getting low there?
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Adam, do you want to just say Shorai?
Shorai.
It kind of was.
Really?
Auto-tuned a little bit. Yeah. You sound like you have a vocoder on.
My microphone's hooked up fine.
It's not the microphone. It's clearly your connection. Because it sounds like your voice is being downsampled on the fly.
Huh. I'm hooked up wired.
Oh, it sounds better now.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Do you have a Windows update that started?
Actually, my laptop was in sleep mode. I don't know if that had an effect or anything.
Maybe. Who knows? You sound good now.
Good.
We're doing this live, people.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm leaving it all in because that's my philosophy. Leave it all in, man.
Right.
Fucking warts and all. Fuck this shit. I don't like listening to shit that's been edited.
Yeah.
Real people, real conversations. But anyway, enough beyond that. Seth Rollins will do all right. Fucking Mr. WrestleMania, Sean... what's his name? wrestler?
Sean.
Heartbreak Kid, Sean.
Oh, God, now I can't remember it now that you've asked.
I keep wanting to say Sean Waltman.
I keep wanting to say Sean White, which I know is wrong.
It's not Sean White.
No,
Why
it's
can't I think of
Michaels.
it?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. God, I'm the worst wrestling fan. Shawn Michaels. He was naked in Playgirl.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Much to the dislike of the company and stuff.
I'm sure.
I mean, I think it was Playgirl, but there were nude photos of him that got out, so...
And it's not like there aren't sex tapes of other various...
Yeah, it happens. All right.
Previous wrestlers.
When you're famous, bad shit can happen. So anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah,
Raw was cool.
Raw.
There were some cool parts.
Okay.
I kind of like what they're doing.
So.
Well, I liked the flag botch. You saw the was that this Raw or was it the Raw before? It was the Raw before. That was awesome. The flag didn't come down for Rusev.
Yeah.
Rusev Cena is going to be great.
Yeah, probably.
Cena's awesome.
Cena is awesome.
I kind of dislike the backstage chatter I've heard that people have been saying that they're really not liking that they're making John Cena do an old washed up wrestler kind of thing where he's older and more prone to be hurt and stuff as his character. It's like, dude, he's a babyface, man. You got to do something to make him vulnerable, or else everyone's just going to be like, he's going to win every match.
He's been winning every match for the last more than 10 years, probably. Right?
Well, he's going to lose clean to Rusev.
Yeah.
At Fastlane. And it'll be like, oh my God, is John Cena destroyed, and he's going to have his babyface come back at WrestleMania, and it'll be great, I think.
Of course. Yeah.
America will win, and then they'll have to figure out what they're going to do with Rusev.
Yeah.
Because, you know what, I hate seeing young guys get, have, old champs go over them. Mm-hmm. But in this case, he's undefeated, Rusev.
Yeah.
So being defeated, your first defeat coming to John Cena, the franchise, 16 he tied.
Yeah.
Did he tie? Or is he 15 times?
No, I think he's still 15, actually.
Okay, yeah, he's 15-time champ. I mean, okay, you lost to him, he's going to beat everybody pretty much. So it's not going to end, put any bad stuff on Rusev. So that'll be really cool. And I hope it's great. Other than that, I like the stuff they're doing with Bryan and Reigns. We'll see.
I don't really.
I like it because they're kind of tweening Reigns a bit here as the badass silent heel a little bit.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know. I like that they're trying something different at least and not trying to make him John Cena because he can't rap. He can't talk like John Cena, at least not at this point. So you're not going to be able to get him over like that. Get him over as the guy who just silently spears people and murders people and is, fighting for the good guys, That's badass. He's kind of like a Batman at that point.
I kind of thought this episode was ridiculous because
it was.
Started out with tag team, them, and I don't know. It was fucking Kane the Big Show. If I never see them again.
That aired Thursday is apparently really good, and I'm gonna have to watch it.
Okay.
They do Tag Team Turmoil. You know what that is?
No.
Tag Team Turmoil is kind of like a Royal Rumble of tag teams.
Oh, okay.
So Bryan and Reigns start out, and then they just send tag teams out, and whoever wins face. Basically, we got next is the thing. So we get the winner of that match.
Yeah.
And so apparently Reigns and Bryan beat 6 tag teams.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. It's like an Iron Man long match where, Bryan's pinning people, Reigns is spearing people, making them both look good. So I think that's cool.
I'll tell you what I didn't like about this Raw.
Sure.
Well, for one thing, I watched Hulu, so I don't see the whole 3 hours.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing. I watched it live.
I saw 5 matches.
Yeah.
During that time.
Sure.
2 of them ended with a DQ.
Oh, boy.
And the last one might as well have. Because it was 2-on-5, which is ridiculous in the first place.
Yep.
And then, by the time it actually gets to any kind of drama, everybody from the back fucking comes out, and it might as well be a DQ anyway, because it wasn't actually anything near the terms of the match in the first place.
Welcome to wrestling.
So, by my count,
welcome
that's basically,
to the WWE.
I know, right? Basically,
Not
3...
even that. Welcome to the main Raw and SmackDown WWE.
Yeah. of the 5 matches I watched, 3 of them were like not real matches.
I know, it's because they seem to save finishes for pay-per-views.
Right, but it was just I think when more than half the ones I watch have no real consequences, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
really advance the
disappointing.
storyline.
No, it's just disappointing. One thing I did learn about myself watching this
Yeah.
is I think I realized that my favorite wrestler right now
Yep.
is Dolph Ziggler,
Ha!
because
He is awesome.
he is awesome, and I whenever his music comes out, I just feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I'm going to see a match that I'm going to enjoy. I
Yep.
know that it's just there's none of this bullshit. He lost to Bray Wyatt, which is fine. He's going to
Bray
lose
Wyatt's
sometimes.
a monster.
And Bray Wyatt's a monster. It was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
And I realized that
How do you like the Bray Wyatt no-selling the Fame Sir?
well,
I love it.
I was going to
It's
say
so cool because he like just stands up right after it. But then
Yeah.
I think in one of them he got a drop kick after that got him down.
Yeah.
But it was just.
I was
kinda
gonna
like
say
a-
I kind of I dislike him brushing off a Ziggler awesome move, but on the other hand, I understand it's part of his thing.
they're building him up to fight somebody big.
Right,
at WrestleMania.
right.
So,
But I mean, it's to the point where not only is Ziggler an awesome wrestler, I like watching him, all that, but also a lot of the matches he's in actually have an ending.
real finishes.
Real finishes.
Well, he's jobber to
So-
the stars.
Yeah, but
He's always been.
yeah.
So, you know.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
But I think he's just both his character, his charisma,
Yeah.
his style of wrestling. I like it all.
When Daniel Bryan
cool.
was gone, he was my dude. Mm-hmm. But Daniel Bryan's my guy.
And I also saw the match with Dean Ambrose and Curtis Axel.
Yep.
I love Dean Ambrose to death,
Yep.
but my fucking god, he's wrestling goddamn Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking joke.
Well, he'll get his time in the sun. He's
Yeah.
too good of a character and a wrestler.
He is somebody I just feel like they have misused at every turn.
I think that
Since the
they-
Seth Rollins thing. Since the Seth Rollins feud,
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
they have completely, just
So
fucking...
they've had some cool stuff with that Seth Rollins feud where they had their...
There's a couple okay things with Wyatt, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad for one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
And lastly, the thing I didn't really like about the last match, or the thing I don't like about the Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns kind of thing is this was the perfect opportunity for them to do something that they have 2 baby faces together. They could finally do something where people actually just wrestle out of competition and respect,
That's
and
true.
it would actually work with the storyline.
Yep.
And they went the other shitty way of just like an accidental kick and people getting angry and fucking making a feud out of it between 2 good guys. Making kind of Roman Reigns the heel-ish babyface, and
Well, not the heel.
Well,
I am the Rock-ish. I don't give a shit about your jabroni ass. I'm just
guess,
gonna win matches.
but they could have had like, Daniel Bryan is, I'm the technical wrestler. I'm going to use my skill, my wrestling technique to be faster than you and take you down. And Roman Reigns could have said, no, that's going to do you any good because you can't, I got Superman punch and one punch is all it's going to take.
You
Exactly.
can't out-wrestle punch to the
Exactly,
face.
right? You can't, something like that. They could have had a perfect
And maybe
thing
they
there
will.
where...
Maybe they're going to get there by next week.
Maybe, but like they didn't
That's
have
my
to do...
hope.
I was just angry because they didn't have to do the shitty thing where they just pit them against each other out of fucking drama, fucking
Vince
weird
McMahon
reasons.
makes the booking decisions up there.
Yeah,
so.
I know, but I that was where I thought that they dropped the ball in that particular thing.
I agree with you.
So overall, I was kind of disheartened. And the other thing is, I watched it right after I watched NXT.
Oh, no.
And I was just like...
You can't go from one to the t'other.
No. It just made me so... And then also, I was... Well, I'll talk about that later, I guess. But yeah, I watched it after NXT, and it was just kind of... You can't watch it right afterwards.
We got to get to Takeover Rival.
We got to get to Takeover. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because it's too good.
It's too good. Oh, it's too good.
Anyway, February 11th. We start off with... there was a dark match that we didn't get to see, which is sad. Because it was Enzo and Cassidy versus the Vaudevillains.
Oh, that was
I know.
good. I want to see
Dark
that.
dark match for the crowd that was there.
Yeah.
First match of the night: Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, singles match. It's a good match.
It was a good match. It could be because my expectations were so high.
Yeah,
But this, I think, was the worst match. Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
No,
But this was, I think, it didn't meet my expectations.
I think it's because they kind of had a
pay-per-view.
quick build up to it, you know, and the
It-
two
it
guys
may have been
haven't
a time
wrestled
thing.
a lot before, you know.
Yeah. And it could have just been a time thing with
They only had 8
the other
minutes
matches
for a
going
match,
on.
so-
Right. So you're not going to expect to see, I guess, the amazing stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a good, decent match, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. There's some great spots. Hideo Itami looked really good, and he continues to get better and better. I mean, his style is really unique and interesting because he's very much a striker, you know, a lot of kicks, a lot of punches that look really good. Tyler Breeze did a good job selling. Tyler Breeze is great at that. He looked really impressive in the match. I think that'll be a cool feud to continue, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or they'll both go on to feud with someone else. So that'll be neat. Let's move on. We got a lot of matches to talk about, and I don't want to go over 2.5 hours.
Totally.
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Hideo Itami. Okay, next is Baron Corbin, Bull Dempsey. No DQ match. A 4-minute match. At least they gave him a real match, you know, and Bull Dempsey had a few hits. Corbin had a few hits. I'm happy that it's clear that Corbin isn't just a guy who can do squash matches. He's been doing some real stuff, but I'm not really interested.
I'll say that too. Yeah, and also I don't know.
I did really appreciate the no DQ match with like no chairs or tables or ladders in it, which was weird.
Yeah,
Why
there
is
was one
there-
table or one chair at the very end. But.
Exactly. Well, I like that spot actually with him running with the chair and then getting immediately into the end of end of days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a cool spot. But yeah, overall,
And actually, they seemed like Bull fucked up pretty early on or something like that.
Yeah.
When he was supposed to go over the thing and then didn't, and then he just kind of slowly fell afterwards.
Yeah, there's some botching going on in these next two matches.
Yeah.
Blake and Murphy against the Lucha Dragons. That match was a little botch-tastic for me.
For the Luchas.
Yeah, they had a couple big missed spots.
Oh my god, yeah.
Which is funny, because you see botches all the time in wrestling. It's just the way it is. It's live, improv moves. It happens. Things get botched.
These were just so obvious.
And it always seems to be the same way when you get botches, where you get one, it just turns into 3 or 4. It just happens. Sometimes they just turn into botch fest. This didn't go quite that way. There were just 2 or 3 noticeable ones. But it happens, and they went on, and whatever. It was an okay match. And Blake and Murphy defended.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting, and also I'll say they won me over as
Same here.
a tag team.
Yep,
because
definitely.
Last week I was complaining about them, but this week I felt that they earned it because there were some awesome
had some good
counters and
moves in
reversals.
that.
Yeah, they did.
Some top rope
They did.
stuff. You know, it was good.
They won me over.
And I have a feeling the Lucha Dragons are not long for NXT, so...
Yeah, probably not.
Because Sin Cara already is in the main roster, and I think they want to bring Callisto up soon because they are lacking in Hispanic wrestlers in the main roster, and he is definitely a Rey Mysterio-style babyface, where he is the little guy who is scrappy and can do some cool-ass, crazy acrobatics, and they can get that on TV. Okay,
Totally.
So let's move on to the meat of the show.
Okay. All right.
Finn Balor, Adrian Neville. This is a great match.
Another realization I'm having.
Yep.
I think my favorite NXT wrestler, with the possible exception of Sami Zayn, is Finn Balor.
Oh my god, he is awesome.
He is so awesome.
And I was kind of disappointed the makeup was really similar to the last one because
Yeah.
having known him in New Japan, coming out with crazy characters and pay-per-views that are very different from each other, I was hoping
think
for
they're sticking with this one
for now.
at least.
He had a really cool Punisher makeup he did that was on Instagram too, with like the skull. That looks really cool too.
They probably can't do that in the U.S.
They put it on Instagram. They could get away with a skull. I mean, I don't know what copyright of the skull image has on body paint that rubs off during a match.
Yeah, I suppose. But like,
It's
I heard he had
it's
an
a
awesome.
weird gray area.
I heard he had an awesome Joker one once that they
He
probably
came
wouldn't
out
be able
as
to do.
the Heath Ledger Joker once.
Yeah.
And it was, real convincing looking. So he's away with makeup. That's great.
Yeah.
And his entrance is cool.
Yep.
Neville is just a workhorse.
Yes, he is.
He just puts on good matches.
Oh, he does.
This match had some incredible false finishes. There's a moment when he hit like a 450 splash, I think it was, off the second rope. And you were like, oh shit, but it was like, you know what? That wasn't off the top rope. That's two and a kick out. You got to really, give it your all to beat Balor. And they sold it well. There were a lot of I think there was like a 2.98 kick out, like 2.99 repeating kick out. It was just got the crowd going because nobody knew what was going to happen on this one. And that's the beautiful thing of NXT. You don't know what's going to happen ahead of time.
Right.
Unlike with Raw, where they very clearly push or, put people in back, This is just kind of like everyone gets a shot. That match is incredible. Ended with the foot stomp from the top rope, which looks devastating.
And the drop kick beforehand.
Oh, yeah, the drop kick's great. Yeah, he did the drop kick again. I kind of want to see him do some more of his moves from New Japan.
Yeah.
He does do Bloody Sunday, which I like, which they called some weird thing because they didn't have a name for it. I don't know if they decided if they want to give it a new name for WWE or not, but yeah, it was a great match. And I really hope Neville finds his niche, which is going to be hard.
Counter the Red Arrow.
Because
awesome.
That counter's great, but Neville doesn't have the look of a wrestler. He does and he doesn't.
He does, he's just small.
Daniel Bryan, but he's so strong.
He is.
And he's so talented.
Yeah, I know.
That I really hope it works out for him. And it could.
Me too.
But there's someone else who has the look and is super strong, super talented, named Cesaro, who it hasn't worked out for yet.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But hopefully Adrian Neville can find something. We got to move on to what I can't decide match of the night between this and the main event. They were both incredible for their own reasons.
They were really incredible, yeah.
I'm going to have to give it to the main event just because it was 2 people and not 4, which makes it a little easier to get things going on in matches. But my God, did they make everyone, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch, they made, Finn Balor defeated Adrian Neville too. We should probably say he won these matches. So he's the number 1 contender for the championship. So he'll be facing whoever wins the last match. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch came out with new ring gear.
Yep.
I liked it.
I do too.
Because it's not trying as hard. I still dislike the weird arm flaps she has.
I just like the weird head spin thing she does. Just weird.
You know what? I said this to Lauren. I was like, I kind of dislike it because it's trying too hard to be like a headbanger thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like that, wrestling is yourself turned up to 11. So if she's really into that stuff herself, it's good for her to do that because you should be who you want to be because it's better to be a character. But I think she just needs to find less grating ways to do it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And she'll get there. I mean, she's new. This is her first year, so, she's working on it. But she was good in the match. She had a beautiful pump handle suplex on Bayley.
That was
Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sasha sold it. Bounced and rolled. It just looked great.
Also, the early on toss of Charlotte into the LED screens was pretty impressive.
Yeah, there was some great. I mean, this was a match with spots worthy of a men's match.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at the stuff that was happening, and it was like, this wasn't a Divas match. This was just a wrestling match.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was good. And women were the ones doing the wrestling.
Mm.
Charlotte looked amazing and strong. There was some great stuff with Bayley, doing the hugplex off the top rope.
Oh, that was amazing.
Or the second rope, sorry. I think it looked like it was off the top because Charlotte's so goddamn tall.
Yeah.
No, but it was off the second rope and it looked
incredible. Bayley to belly.
The Bayley to belly.
Yeah.
She had an incredible move where she teamed up with Charlotte, where Charlotte lifted up Sasha Banks and Bayley came underneath and hit her in the stomach.
Yes.
And it was a team move and it looked really brutal, and you don't see brutal moves very much in women's wrestling, and it's great.
Yeah.
But it is good and it looks good. And this match had like almost no botches. There were a couple scary jumping out of the ring moments, but everyone landed correctly. But I think Sasha Banks didn't jump far enough, but she made it. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
And it worked. And there were some great moments. And Charlotte, of course, laid everyone out, jumping over. And there was some great emotion in everyone's faces, just wanting it. And Bayley looked... it was...
Yeah.
One of the best matches I've seen in a long time. And
Absolutely.
It was a women's match, regardless of women or men. Best match. Incredible. And it had the correct finish.
Yes. Yeah.
Bayley hits her move off the top of the second rope. She's got Charlotte. Sasha Banks rolls in, kicks her out.
Yep.
And, goes... Oh, and there was another moment that was great when she had both knee dropped Becky Lynch and Charlotte. And she tried to pin both of them, screaming when she couldn't get the 3 count.
Yep.
And just going back and forth between them. And, getting, angry and Bayley throwing her out. But, yeah, Bayley hits the hugplex from the second rope onto the ground. 1, 2... Sasha Banks pulls her out, and you're like, oh, shit, Bayley had this, and she's going to talk about it. She had it.
Yep.
But Sasha Banks got in there and does the crippler crossface, which was Chris Benoit's move. And he called the crippler crossface. It was slightly different, but this is a crossface. It looks brutal. That looks like a real submission move, especially because Charlotte's just so flexible that she can bend so far back that it looks really painful. And she sold it, and she's just reaching for the ropes, and you see it in her face, and she's just inches away, and then she just pulls her farther back, and it's like, oh my God, is she gonna tap? I was like, they can't have Charlotte tap.
Yeah.
Charlotte's not gonna tap. She doesn't tap, and she can't get her to tap, so she backslides Charlotte. This is some real complicated-ass wrestling shit going on.
Yeah.
Backslides Charlotte and pins her, because she's just so destroyed from that, submission, and wins. And Sasha, I was so happy because she's one of my favorite wrestlers, male or female.
Yeah.
And she finally got her championship.
Also, I hadn't really seen a ton of Sasha Banks before. And I really like Charlotte and Bayley. And I gotta say, she definitely won me over tonight because... I had never seen anything like this.
So good.
Yeah.
She's far and away, not far and away, but she is definitely the most technically talented wrestler in the women's division. Charlotte may be more of a freak of nature, like strong and can do some awesome shit, but Sasha Banks as a wrestler and as an actor, like in this, just screaming and throwing tantrums in the ring and stuff, she's just great. Yeah. And she's going to be a great heel, and she's going to be a great diva someday, and
they
so awesome.
Still hugged it out.
Yeah.
Tears in Charlotte's eyes.
I know. There's a. I love the moment though.
I know. I do too.
The hug. The hug. The hug. Yep. The former BFFs. That was a faction they had years ago, earlier last year, and then of course the shove away. I got your title.
It was so perfect.
It was perfect. Perfectly told.
Yeah.
And they told no talking in this.
I
from
know.
Anyone.
Yeah.
All the stories were told in the ring.
So good.
And it was well done. And all I have to say is that Triple H has a big hand in booking this stuff. A lot to say. Kevin Owens in an interview said Triple H basically lives in the Performance Center, because he loves it and he has creative control. And as does, Regal, who's an incredible booker. I really hope that Vince McMahon, when he retires, we see the Triple H NXT style coming up.
Yes,
and we can only hope. And we move on to formerly Kevin Steen, formerly El Generico, formerly the rivalry known as Steen-Erico, now Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, in the match doing what they do. And that is doing their best impression of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena.
Pretty much.
It really was. And
although Sami did have a bit more of a say towards the end than...
Oh, no, totally. It was a different match.
Yes.
It was, whereas, and then this is the best example, and this is why I love Kevin Owens so much as a wrestler and a character, is... whereas Brock Lesnar's like the unfeeling monster who just pins, submits, eat, conquer, sleep, repeat, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat.
Yep.
Kevin Owens is a demon. That manipulates your feelings, manipulates your emotions, rolls out of the ring 3 or 4 times at the start of a match just to get you pissed off.
Oh, and oh my God.
And that move.
When Sami Zayn
jumps over the ref.
Yep. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yep. And it was beautiful and great and caught Kevin Owens by surprise and looked good.
Yep.
And they told the story through the match, and they went back. They just brawled back and
it was
forth.
so
and
brutal.
they had so many moments just where they're both just, just slapping at each other, and Sammy can barely stand. He's crawling up Kevin Owens just to get up, and Kevin Owens gives him 2 punches, and he reels, and he just, goes back in to slap him in the face. He can't get a full punch off, but he's still hitting him, And,
Sami Zayn can sell so well.
Oh, he's like Ziggler in the same way. He just is incredible at selling. And so is Kevin Owens. He can sell really well, too, which is what's so good about him. Is that, they called him Mr. Wrestling for a while because he just knows how to put matches together. He knows how to tell a story in the ring, which is what this match, whereas the women's match was just great spots, great, technical wrestling with a lot of great technical wrestlers. This was, technically sound, but much more simple.
Yeah.
They still had some crazy spots, like what was it? Kevin Owens jumping off the top rope on Sami Zayn's knees.
Yes.
So Kevin Owens is also great because he's a big guy that gets up on the top and only jumps.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Bray Wyatt, very mobile guy.
That drop kick through the barricade.
Yep. I know, man.
Oh, man.
The drop kick through the barricade. Sami Zayn was murdered.
Yes.
Basically, is what happened. But he didn't give up.
No.
He never tapped. He wasn't submitted. He wasn't pinned. But Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn via referee stoppage,
Which is perfect.
which is rare.
Yeah.
It used to be kind of a TKO. I don't think they like to use the word knockout anymore because of concussion
Right.
stuff. They don't want to say people are getting knocked out. But so basically the match kind of continued on, both hitting spots. Sami Zayn hit a beautiful blue thunder bomb on Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
was kicked out at 2.5. Sami Zayn went for the Luva kick, and then they told an amazing part of the match where Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens is getting him all riled up again. He's walking around the outside. Sami Zayn jumps over the top rope to get on a splash on Kevin Owens, but goes too far and hits the back of his head in air quotes. But that's the way they sell it. And he's obviously woozy, and they're like, "Oh my God, did he hurt himself? Is he all the way there? Is he? Well, the refs need to check on him." And of course, he gets up, he gets hulked up, he has his moment. He hits him with the exploder. Kevin Owens into the corner, goes to do the haluva kick, and starts to get up and he can't run. He's concussed, or he just isn't fully stable on his legs yet.
Right.
He goes to do it again, and Kevin Owens catches him for a pop-up power bomb, and just then where German suplex is destroyed John Cena, Kevin Owens used his power bombs, which are so good. He's good at them. I wish he could do his finishers from Ring of Honor, which were the F5, which is what Brock Lesnar does, and he does a package pile driver.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a tombstone, but I think we talked about this last week, where you hook in the arms and legs so they're like a little ball, and you drop them like a cannonball. Looks great, but it's a banned move, so he'll probably not get to do it until he gets enough trust to be able to do it. Kevin Owens just, Sami Zayn's being looked at by the refs. The refs holding, Kevin Owens back, and the doctor's out there looking in his eyes, and Kevin Owens just goes over, grabs him, power bombs him, and goes. He yells, oh, God, I just love how much they talk in the ring, and he's so good at it, Kevin Owens is. And he just yells at the ref. He's like, count it, And he just puts his hands on Sami Zayn.
Yes.
And Sami Zayn, 1, 2, and he just does the weakest rollover.
Yeah.
Because you can just tell, it's so good. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's just,
I know.
Sami Zayn can't give up,
I know.
He's just instinctually rolling over, And Kevin Owens is obviously pissed. Power bombs him 2 or 3 more times, and the ref pulls him away, and the ref calls the bell for stoppage, and everyone in the audience is confused because this doesn't happen. What the hell happened? Does the title change? And the rules are, if the ref calls the match for fear of the health of a wrestler, not through an injury, but just through being beaten up in a match, because it's obvious he's not going for the pin. It's a weird situation because it doesn't happen very often because it's just pin him, but it was a situation where they had to stop the match. because Kevin Owens wasn't going to pin Sami Zayn until Sami Zayn was knocked out, you know. And so they stopped the match. Sami Zayn loses his title, but he never was pinned or submitted. So that leaves us open for the rivalry here. And Kevin Owens is champ via the most heelish monster way possible of basically beating the crap out of everyone's favorite guy.
One of the best parts, too, is like right after that, he does the weak rollout when they pan the camera to the audience, and there's girls
just
in the audience
scared.
Yeah, people scared.
Like stop the match!
Girls with tears in their eyes.
Oh, I know.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. I mean, that's why they got Sami Zayn, and that's why they hired Kevin Owens, because they can do this.
Yeah.
They've been together for 12 years.
Yeah.
They know how to wrestle each other. They know how to put on a main event. And I really look forward to their long feud and hopefully moving up to WWE and getting their own program together.
Oh, man. And Kevin Owens just, kissing the belt.
Oh, my God. Yeah, doing all the babyface stuff when he gets the belt. Like, oh, my God, I got it. I deserve it so much.
Yes.
Well, his friend is like, God knows what concussed, brain damaged over there. And then, of course, the medical staff comes in and he walks over to where Sami Zayn is.
Yeah.
And he looks down at him and just lifts the belt up over him. And just
I know.
Grim, like this grin, and you're just like, oh. That's the analogy I read is just, Brock Lesnar's a monster. Kevin Owens is a demon. He is evil. He acts like he's a babyface. Do you see the post-match interview?
I did not know.
Oh, my God, you have to see it. It's incredible. It's outside. He's just sitting on a bench, just looking at his belt, exasperated. And Renee Young comes out and just like, well, how do you feel about, winning this and your friend? He's like, if you're going to talk like that, I don't want to talk to you. He's like, I won the title, 2 months, to the day. And she's like, okay, so you've been in NXT for 2 months. And he's like, no. Say it to the day. It sounds better. I won it. And she's like, okay, well, you won the belt 2 months to the day of you starting in NXT, and how does it feel? And he's just like, oh, I was proud. My parents were in the match, were in the audience, and they cheered me on. I'm so happy. My baby was at home with my wife watching the match. He's doing all this babyface stuff, talking about his family and his kids in the audience. His kid was in the audience with his parents, and talking about how happy he is for them, and how good it feels. And it's like, oh my God, you just murdered someone.
I know.
And it's that character that he has. He was, I think one of his nicknames in Ring of Honor was also wrestling's worst nightmare, because he was known as the guy that murdered people, Brock Lesnar style. So yeah, that's a little taste of why everyone loves Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together so much.
Yeah, it was
just
excellent.
such a good, I'm looking forward
to it.
And it's so hard to pick which match I love more.
Yeah, I mean, even the Finn Balor and
I know
they were all just
that one
incredible.
started off slow, but my God, it was a hot finish. Just
it was
trading finishers, trading reversals, trading pins. And everyone I read someone was like, that's how you do a false finish. You just get it real hot. I mean, they just sold it well.
Yeah,
no one knew it was going to happen. Well, it may not have been the revelation that NXT Takeover was, just because it was so fresh and new.
Yeah.
This was definitely a worthy successor.
Absolutely.
And I really look forward to the future.
Me too.
Because that Zayn Neville match was, a legitimate 5-star match.
It was.
That Charlotte Sasha Banks singles match from Takeover R Evolution was legitimately incredible. Kevin Owens, incredible match with CJ Parker. Lucha Dragons had a great match.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great pay-per-view.
It was.
Yeah, so that's it, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. There's not much else to talk about other than Total Divas is amazing. Just gotta watch. If you don't see anything, Adam, you need to look up John Cena wrestling gear Total Divas.
Okay.
As he comes out in some crazy wrestling tights, full-body wrestling tights that he made, and a lucha mask. And he looks stupid as hell, and it's hilarious.
Awesome.
That's because John Cena is a really funny guy. And I look forward to his career on its decline. Not in a bad way, just he's getting older. He's 36. Yep. Not completely over the hill, but, 5 years away from thinking about probably wanting to walk away. just for health, and who knows? I don't know how healthy he is, but did you see the trailer for the movie he's going to be in?
No.
So the new Judd Apatow movie Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. John Cena's in it. And in the trailer, he has a pretty funny moment. And supposedly, they really liked him a lot, and people were really impressed with how good he was. Because I think he's a really funny guy.
Yeah.
And I look forward to his career, like The Rock had, being that funny, charismatic, big monster guy, which will be good.
That could be good.
And, the trailer looks good because he's kind of... He plays a character who, she just kind of sleeps around a lot and is trying to find the right guy. And he's some guy who's very obsessed with himself and the way he looks and how, ripped he is. So it's really funny, and he's really funny in it. So I look forward to it. And that's going to do it, man. I'm dying here.
Yeah.
It's late.
Yeah, it is late.
3 a.m., 3 hours of podcast.
It's 3 a.m. and I heard baby.
Well, we had a decent break in there, and we didn't start till this will probably be 2.5 hours again.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next week for the next Born in the 80s.
Indeed.
Barring one of us dying or some conflict happening.
Yep.
Where we won't be able to record.
Yep.
Not like a conflict between us, but like a scheduling conflict.
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
Back?
Just about pouring.
All right. Dun. Wrestling.
Yep.
Okay, Adam, you all ready? 160. 0 to hero. Adam? Ready? 160, 0 to hero. Adam? Ready? 160, 0 to hero. Adam? Ready? 160, 0 to hero. This is a hero. Oh, change tone. All right. Ooh, serious. All right, Adam. Let me just double check that I have the equipment I need to do this. Fuck yeah. Oh God, no, don't. Look at you. I actually have to find the. I have to go to the. How do I get to the? That's good. Awesome. All right, that's not the one I was looking for, but that one works just as well. All right, ready?
Yep.
This went well. Okay.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah.
Adam? 160. 160. 0 to hero.